producer extraordinaire, Jen Jensen.
It's time for the early game, where the bacon is always prepared properly.
Like Grand Slam was supposed to be with sausage.
On 107.5, The Game.
Welcome in on a Monday morning. Bill Gunner, Patrick Brett, Jen Jensen, off of what was a wild, interesting weekend for the football teams in this state. The Atlanta Braves, if you're a Braves fan, maybe you've stopped celebrating long enough to get yourself ready for work this morning. And then if you're an LSU fan, maybe your national nightmare is coming to a close, although great win for LSU over the weekend. Welcome in. Little Monday morning therapy as we always do. Hope you're up and at 'em. And again, hope you had a lovely, fabulous weekend. Hey, look, both South Carolina and Clemson won. It wasn't the most attractive. South Carolina's somehow was less attractive than Clemson's, but South Carolina's 4-3, Patrick, through 7 games as we go to now the final 5, which we knew was going to be extremely difficult. Where do you assess Saturday's performance? Zeb Nolan, Colonel Zebulon Nolan, leading the charge down the field in the final minute 37, just as we all predicted.
Yeah, and we've been saying all year we need Zeb back. That's the only way this offense is gonna get some life breathed into us. But get Zeb back. Are people gonna get mad if we start saying a win is a win?
KG is the very first person to weigh in on the text
Well,
line.
actually, I mean, I just popped it open and there's still like a dozen texts from Saturday and angry people. That's how you know it was a good game.
Yeah, KG is the very first person on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Let me say, and the only reason I did this was because of what you said. Let me start by saying a win is a win and you'll take it, but needing some heroism in the end to beat Vanderbilt in your stadium is bad. Doty's not the answer. We have to get better somehow quickly. There is an element to admitting a win is a win and you take it at this point in time. There's also a very realistic, honest approach that should have never happened. That's not how you gain your victory, and that Vanderbilt's bad, and that's not how it should have gone. So you can have it can go both ways. You can be happy today that South Carolina sits in mid-October with an above 500 record, that they won the ball game, and you can also freely and openly admit on this program that's not how it should have gone. Yeah. That yes, there has to be some significant changes and significant improvement, or else the final 5 games, 2 or 3 could get really ugly, starting with this weekend with a team that is playing very well, is hot, and you've never beaten.
We did get the text on Saturday. Honeymoon period over. Serious question. Do we give Beamer the Chad Morris treatment? Have Chadwell come save us? Yeah, I don't know. It was depressing to watch. That it's not a talent thing. It really is not. South Carolina was more talented. There are areas where South Carolina is not very good right now, like the secondary. So whenever Vandy would have a couple of those big pass plays, like they converted several big third downs with that. I don't even remember what their receiver's name is, but he was smoking South Carolina. That is what it is, but the offense just, what are we doing? Like, truly, what are we doing? I was just scratching my head the whole game, and it's just painful to watch. I mean, this is very true to the last 5 games. All those teams are kind of down right now. Texas A&M is trending up. They're still riding a bit of a high, but I mean, I guess all of those last games are winnable, but it's not because South Carolina's playing well or is a good team. All those teams are just bad right now. So, I mean, is bowl eligibility out of the question? No, but you'd be lucky to win any of these 5 games.
Yeah, there'll probably be single-digit point spreads against Missouri and Clemson if Clemson continues down the path that they're heading. You would imagine this weekend South Carolina, at least as of last night, was an 18.5, 19 point favorite. Texas A&M 18.5, 19 point favorite, depending on where you look at, according to Vegas. But look, South Carolina does win the football game. They are 4-3. Again, you can be happy about that. They're perfectly okay this morning, and you can also very freely admit that it was a very, very rough football game. South Carolina was in control for the first,
12 minutes of that game, 14 minutes of that game, and Patrick, we'll break this game down 803, 404, 6100 if you want to join us this morning and talk about that. If you're a Clemson fan, you want to get a little bit off your chest as well. It's not like the Tigers were anything to write home about. They survived. Dino Babers. How did when did we get confused and start selling Dino Babers as an up-and-comer? Because a couple years ago we were doing that, and
we sold him as an up-and-comer, and then he was being sold as an up-and-comer, and then we looked at his age, and he was already old. And we were like, oh, I guess he's not like a young.
True, maybe we never, but we still thought that like he had a quality.
60.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, coaches are coaching. You could get 15 more years of mileage. Well, I say 15. You definitely could still get 15. But he, about 4 years ago, 55, 56 in that ballpark, he had Syracuse and looked like rolling along and would be maybe. I think they did win 8 games that year. And you thought, hey, maybe this is the year that they kind of really get it going, or that Dino Babers. Can you explain the final minute? Do you want to try and explain the final minute for Babers and Syracuse and what was trying to be accomplished?
I don't know what was trying to be. I saw his field goal. You need to explain it to me.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, they put together a drive. I guess we'd call it a drive. They kind of get it together. They get down the field. On 4th and 1 with 38 seconds to go, they elect to call, I think it was maybe 43 seconds. They call a timeout. And then decide to trot out there. So they were, I guess, if they made the field goal to tie the ball game, they were politely going to leave Clemson with about 38 seconds left to get back down the field and in position to field goal. I don't know what.
Offense is terrible. They wouldn't have done anything with it.
Probably, but they still no reason to leave time on that. And their field goal, Syracuse, the field goal kicker was 0 of 4 from 40 yards. He's not exactly been a lights-out kicker. He is a Lou Groza, I guess, finalist, but distance not his specialty. So, yeah, if you're a Clemson fan and you want to weigh in with a little therapy this morning, because right now, as Game Day put it, Clemson's not getting better. And I think it was David Pollock putting it in there. So both in-state teams right now looking for anything offensively. But South Carolina survives. Vanderbilt, not the way it should be. Syracuse survived, or Clemson survives Syracuse. Not the way it should be. We're getting 803-404-6100. You can weigh in. Cool Care Heating and Air text line or the Love Chevy phone lines this morning. Again, I know a lot of you have opinions and thoughts that you want to get out there, and you're more than welcome to send those in, and we'll try and get to everybody. There's a lot of you. Thank you to a lot of you. KG, Ron in Lake Marion, Jim in Carolina Beach, Jess, Daryl, Richard, Gene. Yeah, guys, you were all up early. All texting in before 6 a.m. this morning. Ron from Lake Marion in at 4:06. Patrick, welcome in, Ron. 4:06 this morning. He says the Braves are good. Gamecocks are lucky. Just win, maybe. Is that a fair assessment? Are we okay with that?
I mean, just made it worse. We're still trucking along. We're still probably. I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at the record, this is where most people. Maybe not most people probably did expect it to be Kentucky sports or Tennessee sports. Tennessee is terrible, but this isn't far off from what the expectation is going to be. And you've already hit your win total, so this is already above what the national media expected you to be, or what Vegas expected you to be. It's just the eye test that goes along with it. Pretty ugly.
Right. Trying to watch it and enjoy it certainly can be.
And then trying and scoring a touchdown again. So we said the wheels. The first two drives were fell off. Yeah, you have to watch a game where
you score touchdowns on two
drives, and then don't score again. About what was it? 40 minutes like that. 45 minutes. 50 minutes. I think 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was rough. Daryl weighs in this morning. USC and Clemson took advantage of the two worst coaching decisions ever. Vandy coach decided to play prevent defense despite having USC on the ropes and having a no-run quarterback come in. Syracuse coach tries to tie the game instead of going for it in a no-win situation. Syracuse not going to beat Clemson in overtime. Not enough talent or depth. Great for South Carolina teams. Richard weighing in this morning as well. We'll get to his text team. Paulie, we've got a bunch of you. The live stream up and rolling as well. DC, Craig, LeVar, Steven, Anthony, Courtney, everybody already in. Adam this morning. Big thanks to all of you joining us on the live stream. You can go check that out on the Facebook page, or you can go to the 107.5 The Game YouTube channel. You can click there and watch and join. We have the St. Patrick's Day Halloween scary screen still up. It's green because the three of us are not engineers. We have the one-on-one face cameras that you can look at us. We got all kinds of stuff, so you can go join the live stream this morning. Jen, good news. Martin Truex Jr.
did not win the race, so I'm not in here to brag about winning yesterday's race, just the fact that I'm still pummeling y'all in the overall standings.
Yep, Reggie Anderson and I were having a conversation about that last night. Yeah.
Good to know that I continue to be the way that things are.
How are we doing our picks?
Conversation, huh?
How are we doing our picks?
We will look at those. I know that I did not get my my lock of the week.
Yeah, they lost.
21-7.
Yeah.
Quite ugly.
I know that I did hit the lowest under of the day.
Okay, good job for you. Real quick, how did we do on our picks? Patrick went 2-1. Let's see. You took Auburn as well. That would give you 3, and we both took South Carolina. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 and 2 plus my double.
3 and 2. You got your double, so you got 5 points. We'll make sure we need to write this down, add it up correctly. I took. I got you taking Clemson.
Okay. So I'll take 4
2
points.
2 and 3. 2 and 3 because you got LSU.
Yeah.
You got Auburn, and you got your 4 points. Yeah. I took Syracuse. Took Florida. That didn't go well. We'll get into that game a little bit. We both took Georgia. I took Arkansas. I took South Carolina. So
you got 1.
Very poor. Four
Right.
picks. 4 picks from all of us. 4 picks from all of us. And I didn't win the NASCAR. Just an awful weekend all the way around. 803-404-6100. We'll get out to the phone lines. We'll read some more text messages. If you want to weigh in this morning, it is our typical Monday morning therapy session here on the early game. You're listening in on 107.5 The Game. Phil Gunner, Patrick Brett, Jen Jensen. We'll get you through on a Monday. Hop up, grab some coffee, and join us. Why don't you?
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com. No accidents to report, and that is the way we start a Monday morning. And weather-wise, we are looking for a little bit milder conditions than we had last week. Sunny and pleasant today, 74 for the high, 77 tomorrow, and 79 on Wednesday. But it's a chilly start to your day, 44 right now at 107.5 The Game.
Football, music festivals, finding the perfect costume. It's going to be an autumn to remember.
I'm typing it up right now.
Solve for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait.
Juju
Solve your
McDowell
tax
and the
problems
team
now before it's too
accountability.
late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop
A
the
team
demand lag,
policy,
stop the aggressive collection actions,
accountability
and stop
issue.
the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask
That's
Optima
what
about the fresh start initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever
Number
offered.
one,
If you
we
qualify,
only
you could save
have personal
thousands,
matter to
and
attend
nobody
to.
knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
Really bad.
They get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax
Go
debt
ahead,
for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for
If you want to flip that channel to
Call
something, I don't know what's going on with that
800-348-0269.
channel.
800
Or that video now.
348 800 348 0269.
Only Jay changes it.
The Steelers needed overtime to beat the Seahawks. Geno Smith fumbled deep in his own territory in their second possession OT, setting up Chris Boswell to game kick. Steelers win 23-20. The Cowboys took care of the Patriots in overtime thanks to Dak Prescott's touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb for the walk-off win 35-29. The Cowboys are 5-1 heading into their bye. The Cardinals remain.
Hope everybody had a good weekend and enjoyable food. We had some very good tailgate food. Very pleased with the tailgate selection.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of wings, pigs in a blanket, buffalo chicken dip, bourbon. Oh yeah. Now the guys want to go
Not
to
doing 3 minutes.
This has been NFL
Sunday.
Network now.
Are they
On the
expensive?
Westwood One Radio
Got about $300 for mezzanine tickets in the upper level. So I need to have a good Friday and Saturday at the craps table. But
Yeah, but you can decide that.
Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just
You can just make that decision on Sunday.
And Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at
We have
$249 per square foot.
3
Both with
touchdown
limited
highlights.
lifetime warranties. Order now only at Lowe's.
yeah, if you play the winner. Let's go with the winner.
In-store only and independent contractor. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only. See Lowe's.com product detail page for more warranty information.
Okay, my shipments have to.
Oh, what? I thought we were better than putting gum at the bottom of
It's
the.
possible with Staples
Huh?
Connect.
I thought we were better here than putting gum at the bottom of the counter.
Apparently not.
Shipping supplies and UPS
It's like a
shipping
high school-
services. And now, buy two,
high
get
school
one
lunch
free
table.
on select shipping supplies like Bubble Roll and premium shipping
Here, that
boxes.
just appears to be
Plus,
where we're
get
at.
20% off
Yeah.
UPS Express shipping services.
There's nothing
Explore
worse than
what's
touching
new at your
gum at the
local
bottom of the
Staples store
table.
or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by, shop online today, and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. And now,
Already
back
forgot.
to the early game
Injured
on
Vanderbilt quarterback's
1075
name.
The Game.
Seals.
Seals. I keep wanting to call him Kenny Stabler. Really, it's not right.
Put it in the pocket, looking left side. Crossing route back in the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Xavier Leggett. Sam Nolan comes off the bench, and the oldest guy on the team awakens his youthful joy and strikes the Carolina. The extra point could make it 21-20
5.
with 37 seconds remaining at Williams-Brice. Boom.
Todd Ellis on the call Saturday night. South Carolina.
We need to save that one.
South Carolina rallies to beat Vanderbilt. They moved to 4-3 on the season. You can be happy with the win. I'll continue to say it because let me be dead honest. As with a minute 37 to go, and right when Vanderbilt kicks the field goal to go up 20-14. Most of you who listen and are familiar with Patrick and myself and Jen and kind of have been around the show for a while can get the feel. Last week was a long week. It was a long week. You were upset about Tennessee. We were back in studio. There was a lot of things going on. It was a long week. And with a minute 37 to go, I have to be dead honest. I was not prepared to watch South Carolina lose to Vanderbilt. Like I moved to a very bad place mentally where nobody needed to be around me. Oh, I'm sure there was nothing but great commentary. Just incredible commentary. I was and so I can celebrate. I can enjoy that the fact that I was a little bit happier. I was a little bit happier with Zeb Nolan to Xavier Leggett in the back of the end zone because with a minute there, I was not prepared to see that. That was not the way I needed my late Saturday afternoon to finish out and to have to deal with Saturday night and Sunday with that. So I will take the win. There needs to be significant improvement offensively. It's hard to tell you what is going on. Billy weighs in on this, Patrick. First 2 drives, we looked great, but after that, it's like the wheels just fell off the wagon. I don't know if he's supposed to be now barely confused, Billy, or he's saying barely confused. I'm not sure if we should refer to him as
fairly confused, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the bottom line is explain the offense. Now look, it's not all on Marcus Satterfield. There is a lot of blame to go around offensively on Saturday night. Some goes to Satterfield for the play calling. Some, or more than a lot, goes to Luke Doty, who Patrick seemed to just is. I sometimes it's weird to watch a quarterback lose. Jim, we got some audio there. Oh, nope, there we go. No more Beamer now. Yeah. So yeah, but we'll play. We're gonna play some audio throughout the morning of Shane Beamer throughout the morning. But
Doty was not good.
But I've never seen a quarterback regress like in a game like that to the point. Look, they made the right call, and you can make the argument they should have gone to Zeb Nolan a lot sooner than they did with him. And Patrick, I think that's going to be the first question. Should have they gone to Zeb Nolan a lot sooner? Because Luke Doty, whether it was the foot and the injury or whatever it may have been, he didn't look good and was regressing with every series.
Well, when you saw the shot of Zeb standing with his helmet on the sideline before it was going to be the last drive. It was very clearly going to be the last drive. Were you thinking, oh yeah, this is the right time to switch your quarterback? Absolutely not. And you never see that. Oh, we're going to make the quarterback change for the game-winning drive. Make the quarterback change with a minute and a half left. That doesn't happen. Nobody does that. If you think Luke Doty wasn't playing enough, give Zeb the fourth quarter or something like that. Like, the timing was terrible. It took you that long. Did it take you that long to figure it out? It was the last interception. That's what got it.
And it
got hit.
And it may have been, yeah. And it simply may have been. I don't mind that. Look, they had to do something different. There's no doubt they had to do something.
Earlier.
Yeah, you can make that case.
Their last touchdown was at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, you can make the argument that it should have been a whole lot sooner. But again, South Carolina holds on. They win the football game. They're 4-3 on the season. I think most of you, given the first 7 games, would have had them at 4-3.
Yeah, well, whatever you're hearing, by the way, is only in your headphones. But yeah, we would have them at 4-3. But we also, again, we talked about how bad Vanderbilt was. You're talking about 100-0 in 2 games. I don't know what's more disappointing, that South Carolina only scored 21, or that Vanderbilt hasn't scored yet in SEC 21. Like, both of them are equally brutal, and I'm just starting to add up the drive charts, and I think South Carolina had about 22 yards after their second touchdown in the first half is what I'm adding up at the moment. It was just brutal, but you have to make that change earlier. It just doesn't. And now the whole debate today is going to be, all right, who should be the starting quarterback? Is Zeb better than Luke? Well, no, because Zeb, when he started, wasn't good either. So I think the answer is just going to be have a feel for the game, have a feel for how your quarterback's playing, and be like Spurrier, have the quick trigger, be ready to pull guys. If they're not playing well, like, don't just blindly stick by someone who's not playing well, because Luke was really bad. And I don't know what point you pull it. Maybe after the first interception, when it's the 14-minute mark of the fourth quarter, that would have made sense. I wouldn't have had much of an issue with that, but I mean, I guess it makes it look like, does this call?
That's a good point. That's a good point. By the way, Shane Beamer saying last night that as of now, Zeb Nolan will be the starter for this coming weekend against Texas A&M. It may be a while before we see Luke Doty again. It wouldn't surprise me now with the foot that they hold them out. We'll get into more of that. We'll get out to our favorite 86-year-old phone caller as well. We'll continue rolling along. It's a Monday morning therapy. Your thoughts, certainly welcome. 803-404-6100. That's how you can join us this morning, whether it's the Cool Care Heating and Air text line or the Love Chevy phone line. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. There is still time to use that pool. Maybe you're not jumping in it. Maybe you're just using it as the backdrop for a beautiful Saturday setup for watching college football. Maybe you're going to decorate a little bit and have a lovely Thanksgiving feast out back. Whatever it is that you've got planned, and trust me, using that home private pool of yours for off-season nice little parties or get-togethers or sitting out back with a fire pit, you still want the pool clean. That's why you need to call Corley Pool Solutions, 803-445-8109. Look, you go to have a nice little Christmas party. Maybe you want to put some lights around the pool. You want to spotlight the ambiance and the beautiful backdrop that you have in the backyard. But if it's a green, murky pool, if there's mosquitoes building in it, it's not going to look very good. Keep your pool maintained even during the winter. Call Corley Pool Solutions, 803-445-8109. Flat rate pricing, including all the chemicals, is how Tracy Corley and his team are willing to do it for you. 803-445-8109. Tracy Corley's got 20 years of experience in the industry. So when he comes out, takes a look at your pool, he can instantly figure out the right chemicals, the ones that will get it clear and looking great again instantly. 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. Shepherd'sGlass.com. No accidents to report at this time, and otherwise going to be looking cooler, sunny,
program too.
pleasant. 74 for the high, 77 tomorrow.
You were probably,
But
you
again,
can't get,
it
she can't
starts
switch what you're hearing.
44, 175 the game.
That's exactly because I went to program. I didn't tell you saw me. I never touched it. So I went to, that's why all of a sudden I couldn't hear you.
But I could hear you.
Yeah, because you were in program 1.
Yeah, but if you were in program 2, you wouldn't be going out over the air.
No, that's what I hear.
Yeah, but how can she change what you can hear?
For $49.99 a month.
I don't think
She
she
can
can.
control it. Yeah, you can hit the little button.
Yeah, but that changes what the
You can
output
get
is.
1 month of
I
internet.
don't know, but my thing went to program 2.
Somehow you were, well, Jen hasn't said anything, so you were just hearing me speak.
Restrictions apply.
I didn't hear you as we were sitting here. I couldn't hear anything.
You must have been in program 2 the whole time.
Because I've heard her.
Has she talked?
Yeah, when we talked about
You'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule online. ZeroRiskColumbia.com.
Don't miss out on this week's sweet deal from Bricks and Stones Pizza Company. Log on to 1075thegame.com beginning Friday at 9 a.m. to get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. But hurry because it's a limited amount and they will go fast.
So I didn't realize because you weren't here.
How do you change what people are hearing?
And treat. It's
Well,
JT's
it-
Kia. JT's
I
treating
didn't think
everyone
you
to a
could hear
massive
anything
selection of
program
new 2021 Kias.
Like
The
usually if I have you guys in 1 and 2, that's only going to feed.
Then JT treats you again by paying
It should be that
thousands
the
over book value
headphone
for your
or
trade.
the
You can get nearly what you
only
paid
what
for.
you
And you
hear
won't
is one.
scare
Like, it
JT
should-
with your credit
some-
issues. He's
something's
the
messed
credit
up with
issue
it.
slayer.
But I had it too
Don't
because I
miss treat and
recorded
treat
the
at
first
JT's
segment.
Kia,
You know,
I-77
so I was
Road,
recording.
JT's
So I just had you
Kia.com.
guys in there.
If
So
you
when I
owe the
was
IRS back taxes, then
editing
get ready to pay up.
Shane,
The IRS
you
has
were hearing
giant
it. So I
private
don't know
collection
why I'm
agencies
not asking
actively
because
tracking
I
down
showed it
folks
to
who
you guys
owe the
2
IRS.
years
So
before
if you think dodging
So
them
it
was
was not
stressful in the
going sorry
past,
to be
it's going to
freaked
get a
out. I was so
whole lot
confused. I'm like,
tougher. Optima
it's a
Tax
2.
Relief has
Why?
this advice. Don't wait.
I
Solve
thought
your
it was
tax
something
problems
where
now
she was
before it's
hearing
too
the
late.
preview
Optima
cue,
Tax
which
Relief
I
wants
didn't
to
know.
stop the demand letter.
How
Stop
that's-
the aggressive collection.
So it's just because our
Stop
mics
the
were in
IRS
program 2 that
collectors
meant that
targeting
we
you. Ask Optima
like
about
hearing
the
what was
first
going out
initiative,
through
one of the
program 2
biggest
was
roasts
roasting.
the IRS has
That
ever
should be.
offered. If
So
you qualify, you could save thousands. And nobody knows this
I know.
program better than they do.
That
Optima
was-
is
that
A
was
plus
the
rated with the
problem.
Better Business Bureau, and they
Out of
get
studio,
results, having
you know, like,
resolved
I
over
would
$1
have
billion
you guys
of
do it.
tax
So,
debt for their
because
clients.
usually
Get
I
a
would
fresh
have
start.
changed
Call today
too,
for
so,
your
you
free
know,
consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
maybe these mics were different.
800-348-0269.
Optima Tax
So
Relief.
there's a lot of things from a list.
OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Kevin Kugel and Ron Jaworski here from Westwood One with a preview of Monday Night Football. From Nashville, we'll have the call as Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and the Titans play host to the Buffalo Bills. Tennessee is playing well and leading the AFC South, but the Bills come in looking for their 5th straight win.
Kevin, the Buffalo Bills, after a big win against the Kansas City Chiefs, right now look like the best team in
I didn't
the
watch
AFC.
much NFL.
They are
Dude,
playing
you do
complete football. Obviously,
You watch a lot of
Josh
NFL
Allen
yesterday?
having a terrific season
Kind
so
of.
far, but they are running the football, playing great
We are
defense.
NFL
and they
correspondents.
Wasn't a
are
great
Buffalo late
NFL
in the
day.
season. Oh, it's going to be a rough way to win.
That's for sure. But coming up, they face the Titans in prime time on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 107.5 The Game.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Think you might have ED? Not sure? Well, we'd like to let you in on a little secret. ED is common. About 40% of men experience ED by age 40, but the solution is simple. Find it at 4hims.com.
I didn't have to talk to a doctor in person. There was no copay, and the medication was shipped right to my door in discreet packaging.
Hims took care of it. Fast and easy. Now our love life is better than ever. Get access to doctors online who can prescribe you FDA-approved ED medication if appropriate. The same active ingredient as name brands, but 90% cheaper. Skip the waiting rooms and pharmacy lines. Get a free medical consultation and rise to the occasion or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/joy to get your first visit free. No copay required. The only way to get this special offer is to go to 4hims.com/joy. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
And now, back to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
.36 on a Monday morning. Hope you're doing well. A little chilly out there. Weather's changing a little bit on us. Bundle up a little bit more if you're getting the kids ready for school. Don't just send them out there in the shorts and the t-shirt. I'm kind of ready for this. Yesterday was nice. Yesterday was nice. I had to
It was great.
about at the parking lot for the fair, and then Austin had a soccer game, and so we enjoyed that. And got to hang out. Had an uncle in town from New York, and got to hang out with him. So it was nice. But yeah, this morning felt good. I mean, it wasn't like cold this morning. Came wandering out of the house. I got a little bit of, I got a pullover on, got some jeans on, but yeah, it was, I didn't have to get in and instantly hit the heater in the car.
No, it's kind of refreshing.
You didn't? I mean, you didn't have to get a heater on in the car?
No, okay.
I'll admit I am a little shocked, Patrick. I expected that.
It was very cold.
I thought it was all right. I mean,
44, so.
I didn't it wasn't like one of the first things that I did normally when I get in the car. Like, I mean, I got the car cranked up, little music going, sip of coffee, hold on out of the neighborhood, through the gate.
Was it a different temperature where you live? Yeah, the first thing I did was turn on the heater and wait for it to get hot.
No, we haven't reached that point yet. I am known as the toughest of this group.
I gotta keep editing audio.
Speaking of tough, and by the way, John in Somerville says, I've never heard a fan brace gripe so much after a win. John?
Yeah, you have.
Number one, I've got someone very tough on the phone lines. Two, I've got someone who never gripes. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Gamecock Larry has waited patiently to weigh in. Larry, how you doing this morning? What is on your mind?
I was feeling pretty good until I listened to you two guys.
Now you're feeling much, much better. You're just a little. We put you through the moon now.
I don't care what you guys. We showed a video. Don't say that way because I'll do that. We showed a video. But all these text messages and stuff, I don't care what the Gamecock Nation says about my coach and the coaching staff. I just do not care. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. You never heard me say that, but just win, baby. Old Rude Hog doesn't call, or I didn't call Rude Hog and finally got to talk to him on the phone. I was wrong in my prediction, but they did win, baby. They won by 1 point.
We'll see.
But
I mean,
they won.
Luke's split was bothering
Gamecocks won by 1 point, but they won. So I do not kid, just one baby. Now I want to say a little bit about the future. I guarantee you, Gamecock Nation, there will be some upsets in the last 5 games, and it won't be Missouri upsetting the game.
We'll see. I mean, Luke's foot was bothering him a little bit late in the game. Was having some trouble.
And I can tell you right now, it's going to start pretty soon. But
you guys got a lot of questions, but what a win. What a win. And congrats to our guys as well.
Aggravated this bud, his foot wasn't feeling right. His foot ain't got feeling right all feet. So,
we'll see. I mean, Luke's foot was bothering him a little bit late in the game. Was having some trouble making throws. And he made some great throws as well. It's a shame because we had some big explosive passes that would have been big time plays that got called back because of the penalties. So, like every game, we'll go back and look at video of the game. But Luke did a lot of good stuff. And Zeb obviously came in and did an amazing job as well. He's a phenomenal teammate. People forget that we were 2-0 and it just gone down right down the field. He's still working on the problem. Zeb got hurt. So he continues to operate at a high level for us. Luke continues to get better as well.
those calls in the last drive. Now, ask me that. Go Gamecocks. And I guarantee you, old Clemson, they ain't doing too good. Old Clemson, John, I know you're crying in you.
Luke's
coffee, buddy. I'm sending you some towels. Go Gamecocks.
Of the game.
Well, there you go.
There you go. See?
They're griping.
They're griping.
Just win.
By the way, that's an old school mentality of not letting others see you cry, right? Because my daughter said I threw a temper tantrum on Saturday night.
Is that actually what would have happened if I don't even know. I'm trying to think of the scenario. Like if Vanderbilt had stormed back and kicked a field goal to win the game. Everyone's sitting like still fully clothed in the shower, just crying, sitting on the ground.
It'd have been
legs
like,
crossed.
It'd have been like, what was it? What's the I can't remember the old HBO show. Not Arrested. Is it Arrested Development?
That wasn't on HBO, but it was
Arrested Development, where they're sobbing in the shower. That's still very popular. But
I think of the girl crying in the shower in James Bond.
Yeah, it's certainly we'll kind of see how it all plays out over the next several games, Patrick.
Look, I'm homeless now because BC did not cover the spread.
Yeah,
took a missed field goal or missed extra point.
You followed that too? I had to text.
I just looked it up.
Oh, okay. I had to text Reggie Anderson on Friday night to get an update. 35-34 for those of you wondering. Boston College. Brooklyn Casey knocks off Gilbert, a thriller over at the Cage or Fort Knox, or we never really got to the bottom of the den.
We don't know.
Yeah, even Brooklyn Casey folks didn't know, but a very good high school game played over at Brooklyn Casey on Friday night between BC and Gilbert. Kudos to both of those teams for putting on the show. 803-404-6100. Back out to the Love Chevy phone. Wants to weigh in on quarterback play. Ray, how you doing this morning?
Are we taking another break?
Luke? Yeah, I know he has a
We are.
predator. He's go ahead.
I said, are we taking another break or going all the way to the end?
See, it's almost like
No problem. Any morning therapy, that's what
It
it's all
would, it
about.
would be irresponsible not to evaluate that, right? As a staff, they're going to.
I think you have to take the Frank Martin approach. That is, you try to upgrade every position every year. And, you know, I don't know what's going to be out there. Certainly the name that is going to pop up, especially again after this weekend, is going to be Spencer Rattler. Look, I'll say it. If you're a South Carolina fan, don't do this to yourself. Don't start saying that's, you know.
No. Quarterbacks. I mean, it'll be fun to play the transfer market game in the offseason where people are just throwing names at the message. Oklahoma's rival, Texas. Hudson Card was the starter there, and they rolled with Casey Thompson after that. He'll probably be transferred. There's going to be lots of people in the transfer portal. You have to look at it.
You said, and we'll get to in the next hour coming up in about 20
minutes. Haynes King will be in the transfer portal.
Haynes King. Well, there's another one. Did you see what Anthony Richardson said after the Florida game? Coming up in 20 minutes, we'll do a look around the college football scene because LSU was big over the weekend, and then Anthony Richardson, the backup quarterback at Florida, had a kind of wild comment as to his status as a Florida Gator that he had to go back on Twitter and clarify post game. But certainly, that's going to be part of it. And right now, there's some scholarship help that is coming in terms of transfer out. You gain an extra scholarship. South Carolina can pick up to as many as 7 extra scholarships. Yeah, Ray, you ask a good question, and it's one that we won't have an answer for until December or January, maybe even February, who knows, with these transfers and when they elect to enter the market. But at that time, look, South Carolina has Braden Davis right now committed. Maybe they look at taking another quarterback that's out there. Maybe they look at going the transfer route. Certainly, you got to consider every option that could potentially end up on the table. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Gene weighs in on the text line, says some of us would have just cried in our living room. That, again, would have created a mess. Maybe you would have been crying. You would have spilled your drink or maybe some food. I had some buffalo chicken dip over the weekend. Maybe it would have the carpet. And that's not attractive. You don't want food on the carpet. You don't want a dirty house. You don't want your carpets and your tile looking nasty and dirty. You need to call Zero Res. That's exactly what people come over to the house and, oh, you're very clean. I take credit for it, but in all honesty, it's Zero Res. With their patented technology that uses high pH electrolyzed water, not harsh chemicals, no sticky, soapy residue is left behind. People think I'm really clean. It's all because of Zero Res. Give them a phone call today for cleaning so that people will also think you're very clean. 803-262-400. Or you can book online, ZeroResColumbia.com right now. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. When you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, you'll get your hallway cleaned for free. That's $75 of total savings. And again, people will think you're the cleanliest person in the neighborhood. The ZR water technology they use, scientifically proven to get carpet, rugs, tile, upholstery insanely clean. You need Zero Res to get out to your house. So again, give them a phone call today, 803-262-4020. You can book online, ZeroResColumbia.com. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. And when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, you'll get your hallway clean for free. $75 of savings. Go ahead. Call Zero Res today, 803-262-4020. Get that cleaning book. Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
From the Center, Shepherd's Glass, the true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com. We have a few tie-ups out there on Highway 3, eastbound and westbound at Wise Ferry Road. Just caution there, some activity going on that's slowing things down. Also, Farrow Road, both northbound and southbound at Bisbee Church Road. There was a car versus deer incident. Should be cleared up pretty soon, but just approach that area with a little caution. And an accident, Charleston Highway near Dixiana Road. Your forecast for today, going to be nice. Sunny, 74, sunny tomorrow, and 77. But as we've mentioned, it is a cool start. 44 right now at 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Football, music festivals, finding the perfect costume. It's going to be an autumn to remember. Also be a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hagerty is powered by people who love cars like me. Hey, I'm Brad
Yes.
Giles from Giles Brothers Insurance. A policy through Hagerty allows occasional pleasure use of your classic car with no fixed mileage restrictions. So you can go for a weekend drive or attend unlimited events and cruises.
Worst news of the weekend, all those great donuts went home, left them on the counter. Random ants got into them. There wasn't like a line of ants. They were in the donuts, but we didn't know where they came from. They just
GilesBrothers.com.
Hi, Scott here with Traditions Fine Jewelry. Everybody knows that diamonds are a girl's best friend. But did you know that now there's a new kind of diamond that's sure to become a girl's new best friend?
I saw this trailer twice this weekend. I saw two movies.
Stunning, and they're
What?
incredibly affordable. Best of all,
AMC
if you're
trailer.
looking for something big, they eliminate
Saw
the need
The
to
Last
settle for
Duel.
lower grade stuff.
I was David
Now
Affleck
you
movie.
can clean white 1 carat
Not
diamond
bad.
for less than $2,000.
If they had 11 a.m.
Or
showings, I would go
2
see
carat
James
just
Bond Day,
$5,000.
but
Or if you want to go
they don't
really
start
big,
till
how about
2.
a 3
Oh,
carat, just
they're gonna do
$10,000?
each show.
Yes, we still carry diamonds that come from the earth, and we always will, because there's nothing more romantic than an earth mine diamond. But now modern technology gives you an amazing choice, and we're all about it. So come see us and start your journey toward your dream. Earth mine
yeah, they
or
want
lab grown. It's your
buddy of
call,
mine
and for the
sent
best
us
selection of
yesterday.
both,
We get so we
only at Traditions Fine Jewelry. Now with two
his
locations
family,
to
his
serve you.
dad
Sunset Boulevard
has
in
like a
Lexington,
million
or at
guild
the
points.
Sand Hill Center in
So
front of the
we
fountain.
were
Traditions
able to
Fine
get
Jewelers, where the
a
Midlands get engaged.
corner
Well, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're on the way.
2,000 square
Bring
foot,
things up
2
to you.
bedrooms,
I'm Eddie Sprinkler for Trey Cow Builders.
$2,000 a night. You got it for $600 total for 3
all
nights.
together in today. Whether it's your
So
kitchen,
$150 per
bedroom,
person.
bathroom, or whole house in each model. With Trey Cow, it's easy. Class work quickly, cleanly, and affordably. Call 360
We're planning on making a trip right now because my girlfriend's best friend is getting married in Vegas in May.
TRECALBuilders.com. Trey Cow Builders. Quality from start to finish.
We're trying to decide take my vacation the week before or after that wedding. So we're deciding if we want to do Vegas and then the Grand Canyon and Phoenix, or Vegas and then like LA.
If you just rent a car and drive,
But we got to decide which way we're going to go. California.
well, you can do, I mean, you can do Vegas and take a day trip. I've done that. I did it with my high school. We went out there for a basketball
This
tournament.
update is sponsored by AAA Heating and Air.
Can we turn the speaker down a little bit?
If your house is in need of a new heating and air unit, call AAA Heating and Air today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, plus a $1,500 savings. Call today and get a new unit tomorrow. 677-1500.
Yeah, we were looking at running a conversion van.
Broadcasting live from
$500
the
for a week.
Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by or shop online. See why Heritage Chevrolet makes you smile. Download the TuneIn app so you can take 1075 The Game with you wherever you go. And now, back to the early game on 1075 The Game.
Little Monday morning for you, Clemson fans, South Carolina fans. Look, you both won. You both won. Neither was attractive. Neither is the kind of victory. Neither team covers the spread. But both South Carolina and Clemson to next week. Clemson will be a 1-point favorite, or was again as of last night. I don't know if things changed once I went to sleep, but Clemson was favored by a point at Pittsburgh this coming weekend. South Carolina. Never mind. You've seen spread. Are you aware of how much moved on the Clemson South Carolina game? As I now look at the 653 update. I'm sorry, the Clemson Pittsburgh game. I didn't look. I looked last night at about 9:30.
No.
It was 1. As I sit here this morning, the updated spread at 653. Pittsburgh is a 3.5 to 4-point favorite now. It opened at Clemson -3. It moved to 1.
So it moved 6 points, 7 points the opposite way.
Yes.
Wow.
The updated spread on that. I'll find the South Carolina again. I've not looked at it since 30 last night. South Carolina is still holding. South Carolina's moved up. South Carolina was 19 around that time last night. I'm seeing it 20 to 21.5. FanDuel has it at 21.5 this morning. So that one also moving a little bit here in the last several hours. We'll talk about the college football weekend as a whole. Much quieter weekend, but there was several very interesting games. Maybe none more interesting than what happened down in Baton Rouge and the news coming out yesterday regarding Ed Orgeron in the future with LSU. So we'll get into a little bit of a college football look around in about 10 minutes when we come back. Jen Jensen, Patrick Brett, I'm Bill Gunner. We're getting you through on a Monday morning. 2 more hours to go. We'll start hour number 2 next with a little college football, big picture discussion. You're listening to the early 107.5 game.
The home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT-FM, Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station.
All right. Welcome in, everybody.
CBS Sports Minute. Arizona was once again Sunday's biggest winner. Cardinals raced to their first 6-0 start since the franchise relocated from St. Louis back in 1987. Kyler Murray outclassed his former teammate Baker Mayfield. 4 teams that lost on week 1 have been winning ever since. Dallas, Green Bay, Baltimore, and Buffalo. In Indianapolis, Frank Reich's confidence in Carson Wentz was vindicated as the former Eagle enjoyed a huge game against Houston. They used the Derek Carr made despite spending the weekend answering questions about John Gruden's resignation, the Raiders put forth an impressive effort at Denver. The Chiefs overcame a sloppy first half, and last night Big Fans the Steelers outlasted Seattle in overtime. Finally, Jacksonville.
I don't know if it's a board or a rule.
Traveled 259 miles to prove once again that, well, you can't lose them all. I'm Morris Esiason.
Run it forward.
Don't let a cold keep you up. Take NyQuil Severe for maximum relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms so you can rest tonight and get back at it tomorrow. NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms. NyQuil Severe temporarily relieves common cold and flu symptoms, including cold, flu, throat, headache, migraines, pains, fever, runny nose, and sneezing.
NyQuil. The sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed.
At Lowe's, we believe fashion and function should live together, especially when it comes. That's why we put together a showroom with the top stylish brands like Bruce Hardwood, Smart Core Luxury Vinyl, and Satori Tire, all known for their reliable durability. See everything our showroom has in store for you. Order now with help from Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com. U.S. only.
Introducing the best deal in mobile. Unlimited on 2 or more lines for $20 per line. With no contracts, no added taxes, and no hidden fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60%. Get unlimited on 2 or more lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999. With SpectrumMobile.com or visit a store near you.
Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Savings based on 2-line comparison of unlimited plans from major national carriers as of 9/20/21. Prepaid excluded.
Build a career with the world's #1 tire brand. Michelin is seeking manufacturing professionals with production skills for their Lexington, South Carolina facilities. Successful candidates will work in an empowered, quality-driven environment with opportunities for advancement. Earn $19.08 an hour starting pay, plus shift premiums, paid vacation and holidays, full benefits for you and your family from day one, including health and life insurance, 401k, on-site health clinic, and gym. Apply for the manufacturing professional and maintenance technician positions at readysc.org/Michelin. Choose Lexington, US 5, US 7.
Old car really scary. Does it smell dreadful and run awful? Escaping from your old car doesn't have to be a horrifying experience. At Galliana Chrysler Jeep on Greystone, we make it fun, fast, and easy. Now you can lease a 2021 Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $269 per month. Qualifying purchases with 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, we'll take any trade in any condition, even if you owe 1,000 cents more than your old car is worth. And don't forget, Galliana Chrysler Jeep on Greystone will buy your car for cash, even if you don't buy another penny into your scary old car. It's time to escape. New Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $269 per month. Jeep adventure day. Galliana Chrysler Jeep of Bristol on 126 Zoo Exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or Galliana Chrysler Jeep Columbia.com. Stock number 17264 to qualify plus 76 months. 10 plus loss period $69.99 to sign plus tax. No security deposit $13.83 per month per thousand per hour for 72 months and 0 APR. Negative trade when we refinance new law. Subject to lender approval.
Ready to get your home insanely clean for fall? Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $119. Plus, when you mention me, Bill Gunner,
With 1075 The Game, you'll get a hallway plate for free. ZeroRestColumbia.com.
At Lowe's, we believe fashion and function should live together, especially when it comes to flooring. That's why we put together a showroom with brands like Bruce Hardwood, Smart Core Luxury Vinyl, and Satori Tile, all known for their reliable durability. See everything our showroom has in store for you. Order now and get it installed with help from Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available with any contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. It's a IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu. Career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
CBS Sports Flash.
The NLCS in Atlanta, the Braves and Dodgers tied at 4 in the bottom of the ninth.
Offering to Rosario. That is through. It gets through. Here comes Dansby.
Oh. Yeah, a little Braves talk. We're going to get into the Braves here.
Dodgers 5-4 in Atlanta. Braves lead the series 2 games to none, game 3 in LA on Tuesday. NFL Week 6 in overtime. The Steelers beat the Seahawks for the night game 23-20. Chris Boswell, a 37-yard field goal in overtime. It was set up, forced fumble by T.J. Watt. Earlier in the game,
Hey, Jen. What was the what was the rest of that? I got 4 and 5, but I don't know if text messages like it looks like.
I didn't. Those I just gave you those two to kind of tide you over because I'm trying to pull more. But right now it's the 3 quarterbacks and then those 2 cuts. I just was for my edification. I was saying cut 4 and 5.
When we will play that touchdown, the last touchdown call again. Okay.
Yeah, coming straight.
Yeah, coming straight.
Bengals 34, Lions 11, Packers beat the Bears 24-14. In overtime, the Vikings over the Panthers 34.
Yeah, I think
Ravens over the Chargers 34-6. And the Jaguars in their 20-game losing streak. London, they beat the Dolphins 23-20. Matthew Wright's 53-yard field goal with no time. Georgia, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ohio State, your top 5. Last team default. LSU and good Edwards around reaching Chicago Sky with their first WNBA championship in Phoenix.
The Cards are 5-0, but are they truly legit Super Bowl contenders? We're all over it.
Tune in tomorrow after noon Pacific on Tiki and Tierney.
Well, CBS Sports Flash is sponsored by Love Chevrolet. Buy your new Chevy. The largest selection, the lowest price, guaranteed. No price hiding adder. Love Chevrolet. 26 in Harvest. LoveChevy.com. Welcome to the early game. 107.5 The Game with Bill Gunter and producer extraordinaire Jen Johnson. Coffee approved.
Yeah, brother, national on Monday morning after a loss. That's what happened there.
On 107.5 The Game.
Touchdown pass.
What is their pocket? Looking left side. Crossing route back. Touchdown, Carolina! Touchdown, Xavier again! Sam Nolan comes off the bench, and the oldest guy on the team awakens his youthful joy and strikes the Carolina the extra point, committed 21-20 with 37 seconds remaining in Leaders' right. Boom, boom.
Todd Ellis on the call. South Carolina rallies 21-20, the final on Saturday night. Hey, South Carolina moves to 4-3. on the season. It might not be attractive. It might not be what you want to watch, which is perfectly fine. But South Carolina is sitting at 4-3 as we head to the back half over and certainly into the more difficult portion of the schedule. South Carolina gets it done. Clemson gets it done as well Friday night up in the Carrier Dome, a 17-14 victory over the Syracuse Orange. They will travel to Pittsburgh this week. Both teams on the road as Clemson heads to Pittsburgh, South Carolina heads to Texas A&M. Clemson and Pittsburgh 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. South Carolina and Texas A&M will be your nightcap on the SEC. Come in to the typical Monday morning therapy where you've got plenty going both ways this morning. Some people, Gamecock Larry, leading a win is a win is a win, and just win, baby, and that's the name of the game, and keep moving forward. And then, look, if you're like me, I'm in the hey, a win is a win, and that's great, but that doesn't mean question some of the things you saw and be a little concerned. It's okay to do that. Vanderbilt's not good at football right now. Based on how the game went on Saturday, you would say the same for South Carolina. So it's okay with 5 games left to question what you saw. But I do think, Patrick, you do have to, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but you take the victory in year one of the Shane Beamer era and you move forward. And you say, hey, it wasn't attractive. It's not really what I want to see from my South Carolina football team, but it got the job done. And it's a long shot. Right now, the way they're playing, if we're being dead honest, it's a long shot, but their intention to get bowl eligible, and that's at least a step. It's a long at a very down the track, and you've still got some goals on the table that you set out for at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so I was thinking this when we got into the random quick tangent of transfer portal quarterbacks next year. What do we still want from this year? And if you're upset about yesterday, why are you upset about it? Are you upset about it because if you can't destroy Vandy, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose all the last 5 games? Is that what you're thinking? Are you upset because we have a long road to go in the overall rebuild? Are you just upset because anytime you play Vandy, it should be a blowout and it didn't make you feel good to win that game? Because at this point, you won the game you're supposed to win. You've won all the games that you were favored in. You still have a game as its own individual game. Just because you beat Vandy by 1 doesn't mean you didn't play a close game with Kentucky. You still did. We always try to play we call it the transitive property game, where it's like, all right, well, if we can't blow out Vandy, we're definitely going to win by a lot. But there's all these weird things that happen. Every game's its own beast. Bowl eligibility is still in front of you. Like, is that going for? Are people going to be content if we get there now? I think people at this point, if you can go 2-3 the last 5 games, will certainly be content. But just ask yourself why you're upset this morning. If you're upset about the loss, or about the win, are you upset because of what it means for next year, what it means for the next 5 weeks, or just in general, you're not happy unless Vanderbilt game's a blowout? Because that's what I've been trying to ask myself. Because I was basically telling myself, all right, this just means we're a bad team and we're definitely going 0-5 from here on out. I just always get ahead of myself like that. But it's really just not true. Like, South Carolina can definitely still beat Missouri, and you never know what's going to happen on any given day.
Anonymous texter weighs in, and that's a good point by you. Quite on fire there. It says, Patrick, with some positivity this morning. That is, you ask a legitimate question. A legitimate question. We should repeat that. 803-404-6100. How you can join us. 708 here on a Monday morning as you get up and you get after them. Chilly this morning, so make sure you're warmly dressed as you head out. But then it's supposed to be a beautiful day as we move through the month. It was not a great Saturday in terms of college football games, but we got some fireworks. You get your big upset, Purdue to Iowa. I watched them 2 weeks ago. The 2 weeks ago, I laid on the couch and watched football all day. Sean Clifford a bum earlier in the year, but quite frankly, if Sean Clifford stays in the game for Penn State, not only do they beat Iowa 2 weeks ago in Iowa City, but they would have thumped them pretty well. Turns out Penn State has nothing for a backup quarterback, and Penn State couldn't hold on as the Iowa defense took control. Saturday, that was your big upset, though. Purdue goes into Iowa City and absolutely thumps Iowa 24-7 in that game. So that will end Iowa's bid to get into the college football playoff. Will end their chances there. They won't stay in the top 5 this weekend. That was your big upset.
They just can't score.
No.
It really came down to that. Their offense was going to limit them no matter what. If you can get a couple big plays on them and score a couple points and not turn the ball over, you're going to beat Iowa.
Yeah, Spencer Petras, the quarterback for Iowa, 17 of 32, 195 yards, pedestrian numbers, but then you throw in his 4 interceptions that he threw. They were really bad numbers. That was your big upset on Saturday. The most remarkable game, Patrick, let's kind of go through the national stage here. The most remarkable game certainly occurred early in the day, noon game for us, 11 a.m. game in Baton Rouge. My favorite line of the weekend, David Hale on ESPN basically said that LSU was without their starting, their top 2 defensive backs. They were without their best wide receiver, and Ed Orgeron's crawfish delivery guy had wrecked his Honda. No crawfish for Ed Orgeron. Yet LSU, and this is what Dan Mullen does, he has these mind-boggling losses. He'll get you a great win. He'll do this. He did this at Mississippi State. He'll win these games that kind of come out of nowhere, but he will blow games that are unthinkable. And there was zero reason for Florida to lose to this LSU team on Saturday afternoon. Again, an early start down in the Bayou. They give up to LSU wasn't running the football on anybody. Like LSU's running game had been Tyrion Davis-Price runs it for 280 most ever against a Florida defense that broke Herschel Walker's record by 50 yards. LSU wins 49-42 and beats Florida. That'll knock Florida from the rankings, by the way, when the rankings come out later today, or they did yesterday. I should go back and look at it real quick, but it knocks them out. Unbelievable loss from Florida. And then a day later, yesterday, if you haven't seen the news, LSU announces they've agreed to a separation package with Ed Orgeron, who will coach through the remainder of the season, and then that'll be it. So a great way for him to go out, I guess.
Yeah, so the Florida thing, if South Carolina fans are unhappy about their offensive coordinator, Florida fans have been begging for Todd Grantham to get fired for years now. People were shocked why he came back this year. Dan Mullen's going to have to make a change. It's going to be one of those, it's either you or me, pal, and you got to fire your coordinator so people will take the heat off of you. Because as soon as he does that, it's going to buy him a little time. Because that's all it was. I mean, 42 points against a talented LSU defense, not playing up to their potential and very injured right now. So 42 is acceptable, but allowing that LSU offense to score 49 points on you is crazy. And all they did was run the ball. I don't know what that is. Maybe you fire your defensive line coach like Missouri did. But, yeah, the Ed Orgeron one is interesting to say the least. I was getting lots of texts from my cousins about things going on behind the scenes, and Ed Orgeron was just dead to everyone. The players didn't want to play for him. The coaches didn't want to coach for him. Apparently he was just unprepared all the time. Some inappropriate things going on, it sounds like. And they really just caught lightning in a bottle the 1 year Joe coach for 1 year, and everything came together. You look back now at that 10-3 season and 18 the year before the national championship, and all the same players were on that team. It was one of the most talented college football teams of all time. And maybe the 3 losses is just all attributed to the coaches. And that's pretty much what LSU people think now is we should win the national championship. We should have won the national championship 2 or 3 years in a row with the talent we had. Ed Orgeron was not good, was still not ready, and just very lucky to have Joe Brady the 1 year at an offense that was unstoppable. So
it was maybe the Iowa Purdue probably you probably were maybe a little more surprised by that, and simply because Purdue absolutely hammered Iowa.
But nobody really thought of Iowa as they weren't going to make it to the playoff anyway. Then by Michigan or
I think
Ohio
most
State
people still consider Ohio State the prohibitive favorite to come out of the Big Ten. We got coming up in a few weeks. You got a round robin of sorts. Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Ohio State, Penn State will play each other. You got that the Big Ten will work itself out. But yeah, LSU and Mississippi this weekend, 3:30 game. The other wild one. That was your nightcap. Lane Kiffin goes back. That game took forever. Obviously, if you looked at television yesterday or followed any of the college games, saw what exactly happened at the end of the Mississippi-Tennessee game there with trash being thrown, golf balls being thrown onto the field, a mustard bottle. By the way, what are Tennessee fans taking into the stadium?
They must have stolen it from a vendor, right?
A mustard bottle?
If that's like what you prioritize, sneaking in your you take.
Like, is anybody figured out what Tennessee fans are taking into the stadium yet? Now, like, did you see that there was a mustard bottle
in the secret compartment of their
overalls? What? No, clearly no. The answer to that is no.
That's what there's pockets on the inside of the checkerboard overalls that they can sneak things in with.
Like, I'm always fascinated to know, and maybe one of you two can answer this because you're a hockey person, Patrick, and Jen, you're from the North, so you are the Midwest. But what exactly did Detroit? It's Detroit that throws the squid on the ice. Is that right? I'm right on that. It's the Red Wings.
An octopus, yeah.
Octopus. Okay. How do they get those things in? I don't know. Like, are they just? Or is there somewhere? Is there a vending machine that just you put a couple quarters in and you get an octopus? Like, I mean, they're not. People aren't like taping them to their leg and wandering into. I mean,
Red Wings fan shared secret on how to get an octopus into the arena.
You had to look that up.
This is an article.
Did you know? Okay.
Okay. There's a picture of a guy taping an octopus to his stomach. Imagine that. Imagine having your buddy shrink wrap an octopus to your stomach to walk into the game.
I mean, I don't.
Oh, how bad would you smell? Oh,
I don't.
They figure they're so bundled up that they're gonna not frisk them, like make them take coats off and shirts off, and so that's how they're getting away.
I'm assuming that when an octopus dies, its tentacles don't get sticky anymore.
I'm assuming. Or
so are
I'm just imagining the shrink wrap coming off and then having to peel it off, and the tentacles are stuck to his stomach.
I don't. Yeah. Again, Tennessee fans snuck in a whole bunch of stuff to throw at Lane Kiffin. I didn't realize the hatred was still that strong 12 years later.
Kidding.
By the way,
I mean, he's had some comeuppance coming. You know, I mean, divorce and financial woes and stuff like that. So I mean, I guess that's not enough for Tennessee fans.
Mississippi holds on.
It was
in that game.
When they were running out, I got fired up though. That was a great atmosphere with the stadium lights out and everything, and Tennessee running out. I'll give it to Tennessee fans. That was electric.
It was an entertaining game to watch. I'll say that. I don't know about fun because it took forever and it wasn't again at times it turned into a kind of a slow game. But yeah, interesting setting there. Other than that, Saturday was kind of a dud in terms of college football.
Sunday was too.
We'll get to the NFL. I'll let you do an NFL breakdown there. Two other games that at least were of interest kind of to me. Auburn really doesn't have a problem at all with Arkansas on Saturday, and I was surprised by that. And it feels like now we look at Arkansas, we look at Sam Pittman, and we go, okay, you beat a Texas team that's questionable. You beat a Texas A&M team that was trying to find itself. Not all that impressed with Arkansas. Now they've lost 3 straight, Patrick, and they look like they're heading for a season in which trying to get bowl eligible could still be very difficult. Arkansas does get Pine Bluff to get back on the winning train this coming weekend, but then Mississippi State, LSU, Alabama, and Missouri to finish out the season for Sam Pittman's group there. They'll get a bye week, and then it'll be those 4 in November.
It's just the schedule is just killing them. I mean, Arkansas is still, no matter what happens, they're still better than we thought they would be this year. They still had a better season than we probably expected. They didn't play terrible. I mean, you look at the stat column, it was pretty even overall, but Auburn just converted more when they needed to. And Bo Nix would have had a very efficient game. Threw a pick, but he still only was 5 incompletions, really efficient, ran the ball well. Tank Bigsby, not crazy stats or anything, but he's just so good. And when Auburn's running the football, they can, they can kind of beat everyone. They weren't dominant in any regard, and Arkansas's defense is still good. It was closer than it kind of looked, but what's Arkansas's next couple weeks? Did you read that off already? It's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
They got Arkansas Pine Bluff. That'll be their 5th win, and then they got to probably knock off Mississippi State to get the bowl eligibility. They're not going to be happy with just a bowl eligible season at the end of this after that kind of dream start, but it's just the way the schedule's going to work out. They were never going to be an 8 or 10 win team.
Oklahoma State, Texas, the other just interesting game. Oklahoma State holds on, knocks off Texas, holds Texas to 24 points, 32-24 the final in that game. That game happened in Austin. It'll be interesting to see where Texas goes. Oklahoma State stays undefeated on the regular season, and whether or not they can kind of continue that run and get to the Bedlam game undefeated will be kind of interesting to see. But again,
did you say they didn't announce Caleb Williams as starter until it was on the Jumbotron?
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. So everyone in the stadium was just waiting to see the starting lineups announced on the Jumbotron to find out if Caleb Williams was starting. And it was just like a drum roll almost. And then when Caleb Williams' name pops up, the stadium went berserk. It's pretty cool to see.
Oklahoma State jumping up to number 8 in the rankings. Now they jump ahead of Michigan State, the AP top 25. The coaches poll has Michigan State number 7, Oklahoma State number 9. So again, slow week in there with college football. If you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100, how you can do so. DJ wins right now the award for just most upset text of the morning. Why? Why are you headlining Clemson along with Carolina this morning to start the show? And after every break, so far you're saying South Carolina and Clemson. 107.5, still the home of the Gamecocks, right? Get right, man.
You get right, DJ. We didn't even talk about the Clemson game. It's just being mentioned.
Yeah, we're just scores, buddy.
We've broken it down.
You know, DJ, give him a hug. Or her. Give him or her a hug this morning. Get a donut, get some coffee. It's Monday morning therapy. We'll get out to the Love Chevy phone lines and get some takes. Ray, LJ on the line. More of your takes as well. It is a Monday morning therapy here on 107.5 The Game. We are the home of the Gamecocks. You're listening to the early game. Bill Gunner, Patch Brett, Jen Jensen. 7:21. We'll get you through here as we continue rolling on 107.5 The Game.
The Blakes are beating the boys. Tell them to get out there and give it all they got. And win just so.
College football playoffs are here on 107.5 The Game.
Might have been a long weekend sitting and watching college football. Might have made you a little uncomfortable. Maybe gave you a little bit of neck and back pain, maybe some shoulder tingleness, some numbness. You're not just feeling good this morning. I got just the approach you need to take. The natural, non-surgical approach practiced by Dr. Pate and Dr. Roman Cooper with Casey Chiropractic. They are in the business of getting people out of pain. So if you're feeling a little bit of pain this morning, if your neck hurts, your back hurts, your arms, they're tingling a little bit because of a rough weekend, maybe you played a little golf and you're sore, you need to go see Dr. Pate and Dr. Roman Cooper. 40 years combined of experience. They know exactly how to get you back up and living your life with the non-surgical approach to fixing your issues. 803-796-2424. Again, 803-796-2424. How about this? Research has proven spinal decompression has excellent long-term effectiveness, even 4 years later. So if you've been watching too much football, you got a little back pain. If you've been playing golf and you're feeling a little sore, try the natural non-surgical approach that Dr. Pate and Dr. Roman Cooper want to help you with before you get cut on. Give them a phone call today and get that appointment lined up. 803-796-2424. They treat all ages. They will also file all major insurance carriers. So don't wait around. Don't continue to live your life in pain. Call Casey Chiropractic Center today. 803-796-2424. Dr. Pate, Dr. Roman Cooper, they're in the business of making people feel better and get back to living their life. Give them a call today and let them work on you. 803-796-2424. That's Casey Chiropractic Center.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com. Do you have a few accidents out there to let you know about? Charleston Highway near Dixiana Road. Also, we have a slowdown Highway 301 both north and southbound at Main Street in Orangeburg. And Highway 378 at Orangeburg Road. There is an accident.
That kind of morning.
Also, a tie-up Highway 378 both east and westbound at
Sunny, yep, we've lost a little weight.
It's going to be nice for the next several days. Sunny 74 today, sunny and 77 on Tuesday, up to 79 on Wednesday. But right now, it is a little cool to start your morning. 44 at 175 again.
See the Jags.
You may have heard that
Kicked their first field goal of the season.
Oh no, first field goal of the season? Did not see that.
With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your
I gotta do
expectations.
something. My face is being blocked by the.
Or call an agent for a quote today.
So they're getting blocked by your.
Yeah, now it's out there. All right.
I mean, a lot of this is all about quarterbacks.
Well,
So if I can grab something else. Like, same question. So when did you know Zeb was coming in? So when Zeb was coming in, when did you know?
yeah. All we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's play number 6. I can and then we'll take the phone calls. Roll along. There you go.
I go to Can medical treatment and workers' compensation with Panda. His experience and passion.
The old green screen, not as pretty out back behind us as it may look on the green screen. It's actually where it was.
Sound and Images has been your corporate multimedia resource for installations and live events. Sound and Images friendly and experienced audio-visual teams can facilitate anything from a simple home office monitor upgrade to a wireless presentation and video conferencing system, digital signage, retail, large-scale commercial, and more. Sound and Images is dedicated to adding and supporting technology into your space. Let Sound and Images add a whole new level to your AV capabilities. Visit soundandimages.net. SoundAndImages.net.
Just getting started. Season 2 is NFL Central.
You don't watch that. Alabama, Mississippi State on the
You have no idea. Social media lets you know that they have a lot of people who are like, I'm so proud of you. But then you have other people who are like, I can't believe you let down they got nation. How the hell did they got nation? You know? Just getting started. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Now for the clip of the day.
Oh, the clip of the day.
Just one of the great comebacks of all time.
1979.
With one receiver and suffrage to two, but fall through and play in the second half and well below 15 temperatures make
All right, you on top of it.
windy conditions. In the fourth quarter, the Houston Cougars led the Irish 34-12. Then they started happening.
What did they lead? 34-12?
Montana had moved inside the Cougars 10. Let's pick it up there with Lindsey Nelson and Paul Horn.
3 seconds hanging. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds left on the clock. Second and goal at the 8.
Oh, the old timey clip. I've got to figure out something.
Next play. Over there. Could want a better finish. 2 seconds left to play. Clock was run on the snap. 428.
Trying to decide if it's going to cool down tonight. Maybe a soup kind of. Of course, that's all I've actually been eating is soup. But I actually ate this weekend. I ate some food, some actual food, which was nice.
What kind of soup?
I don't know. I think I might go buy old timey meat markets. Honestly, go buy some. I don't want to have too much because the fruit is like. It's like I actually would make some of that chili chicken, that chicken chili.
Chili season now, it's cold.
Yeah. Maybe put a roast in the oven. In the not the oven, in the hot pot.
Shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. And now back to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
On Saturday night, talking about the decision to make the switch to Zeb Nolan, and Patrick, certainly, look, in hindsight, it worked out beautifully. It's what you want. You make the big switch. Zeb Nolan takes South Carolina right down the field. They get the touchdown. They kick the extra point. They win the ball game. Zeb Nolan has already been announced he will be the starter this weekend against Texas A&M, and that'll be interesting to see. Luke Doty not really progressing since the Georgia game. Now you've got maybe the foot is bothering him more than it's been led on. We'll see how it all kind of plays out for South Carolina as we move through the week. Shane Beamer will meet with the media tomorrow for his weekly press conference. 803-404-6100, how you can join us this morning. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Ray, different Ray than earlier. Ray is up next. Ray, what's on your mind this morning? How you doing? I'm getting, I've had this sent in to me. Was unaware of this stat until this morning, and it's come in from a couple different places to me on Twitter. 420 minutes of South Carolina football, and only one opponent has had a single holding call against them in those games. South Carolina has had 20. I really have not noticed that. I will say this, typically when you see a stat like that, your first answer is, well, South Carolina doesn't have a good pass rush. I don't think that's the case here. J.J. Ngware is done a very good job, and I'm kind of know what the reasoning would be for that, though. That does seem very strange, and it also, I'm not going to grab the tinfoil kitchen and say it's conspiracy theory that everybody is out to get South Carolina right now, but it is an odd stat you bring up. Yeah, thank you for the phone call, Ray. Patrick, two things on what Ray was saying. There was a lot of mistakes that were not Marcus Satterfield's fault, and part of it is the penalty. What he just said, penalty.
Well, and the holdings, though, there were no holding calls on South Carolina that I said that wasn't a hold.
Right.
I mean, Jasmine Turrentine was the big one. That was the big Jaheim Bell play. And, yeah, he grabbed him by his shoulder and his back and just pulled him to the ground. Yeah. Right in front of the quarterback, right in front of the ref. It was a brutal holding call, but he did. He got beat and held the guy.
And on top of that, and look, Ray, I think your point about Marcus Satterfield, I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong. I just think also you've got to place a little blame here on the player. South Carolina, statistically speaking, South Carolina had one of its best days. Now, Vanderbilt's really bad at the whole stopping other people and playing defense and everything. So let's not get carried away. But the way South Carolina, and I think this is, Patrick, you were asking earlier, I think this is to people's point, when you see the turnovers, when you see the bad penalties, not just like, well, maybe it was a hold, maybe, I don't know, it's a questionable call, like blatant holding calls, bad turnovers. Look, nobody can, I can't blame any of the players that did turn. Fourth and 4, South Carolina's got the ball up 14-3. I liked going for it at that point. South Carolina was in control of the game, and quite frankly, if they get the first down, they probably go in. And my thinking at that moment was they probably go in and score. It was early in the game. They probably go in, and if they go in and score, they knock Vanderbilt out. They would have ended the game, and they end up not getting it. And the play call itself, I thought was, and look, I'm going to play amateur armchair quarterback on a Monday morning. I thought the play call was awful. I thought it was absolutely awful. You don't throw past the sticks. You throw kind of I don't even know what kind of pass you would describe it out to Xavier Legette with no blocking out there. His back is basically turned to the defender to be able to get the ball to square up.
When you're 3 yards to go for the first down or fourth down, whatever route concept you draw up shouldn't have an option to throw to somebody behind the sticks.
Yeah,
That should not even be an option. But, that whole drive was brutal. I mean, you get a big interception. You thought Jordan Strong was about to score. Next thing you know, it's turnover on downs, and you've only gone backwards. That's the thing. The penalty, you have all the momentum in the world. It's time to just kill them. 21-3, game's going to be over at that point. And you get, before you know it, you're 3rd and 17.
That would have put, and that was in the middle of it, 21-3. It would have been halfway through the second quarter. That probably would have knocked out Vanderbilt. Your defense does come out and hold them and punt, but then instantly South Carolina fumble. They fumble the very next.
It should be 21-3. Next thing you know, Vanderbilt flips the field and you fumble, and it's
Marshawn Lloyd fumbles on a hand. Ray, I'm kind of with you on a lot of things about Satterfield. Those things, the play call, then you've got it was the play call, then you've got the bad fumble by Marshawn Lloyd. So things happen. 803-404-6100. We'll get back out to the Love Chevy phone lines when we return. We'll continue on talking to college football. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. That kind of morning, everybody gets all fired up. The same kind of energy that happens when you purchase a new vehicle, and especially when you purchase it from Love Chevrolet. Why? Because you're driving off the lot with confidence in your purchase. Buying a car or truck these days, it's a pretty big deal. You're going to spend a pretty big chunk of money, comfortable with your purchase. You want to know that it was the right purchase for you and your family. Whatever lifestyle you're currently leading, you'll want that car or truck to fit, whether it's you're single and you're looking for something to go and cruise down the beach and put the top back and have a good time, or whether you got multiple kids and you got to get them to soccer, you got to get them to football practice, you got cheer camp you got to go to. You need a car that fits your everyday lifestyle. And that's why the great folks at Love Chevrolet, with 14 acres of brand new, an incredible selection that fits your daily needs. So not only do they have the great selection, they also have the $1,000 low price guarantee, which means you can take other dealerships' prices back to the folks at Love Chevrolet and they will top it, or they'll write you a check for $1,000. Hadn't happened yet, won't happen anytime soon. So now you got the best selection possible, the lowest price possible, and my favorite part, and I think the most important part, you have an incredible sales staff that's going to help you, that's going to answer questions, that's going to explain how that new car or truck fits your everyday lifestyle. They're trustworthy. They're there to help you. They're not going to pressure you. It's a fantastic sales staff to work with from the moment you come on the lot to the moment you drive off. Love Chevrolet, I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Franklin's Fun Park. Don't forget about their incredible certified pre-owned lot as well. Love Chevrolet today and find new roads.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Shoe Service. Guy Gant's coming. Guy Gant's not with us anymore, but his girls are the Gant girls. Chelsea and Madison. Some of the things they do at Pioneer Tree Service? Tree and shrubbery.
Wild staff. There's only been one hold against South Carolina. I think one of y'all put that on the live stream a little while ago, that there's only been one hold.
Demolition and rock removal, right-of-way maintenance. You got to get in touch with these people.
Yeah, it's not an own. Well, bless you. We have to get a piece. Bless you again.
One more time coming.
Okay. So we're working. We have to get a cord, and we've got to figure out the best way to do it to run it. So I thought this little cord here would fix the audio issue, because I thought you could plug it in
Michelin is seeking manufacturing professionals with production skills for their Lexington, South
here
Carolina facilities. Successful powered, quality-driven environment with
and plug it into the computer.
Vacation and holidays, full benefits for you and your family from day one, including health and
I tailgated at a house with a cat on Saturday, and it ruined my entire day. I couldn't get right to all that.
ESC.org/Michelin. Choose Lexington, US 5, US 7.
Ready to get your home?
Yeah, we got it. So let's see again. So this is where. See, this is. I don't know if my laptop has like an audio in function.
We believe fashion and function should live together, especially when it comes to flooring. That's why we With top stylish brands like Bruce Hardwood, Smart Core Luxury Vinyl, and
Yeah,
Satori
Parker
all know
missed the field goal. That was another one. Good
See
point.
everything our showroom has in store for you.
So anyway, yeah, we're working on it. We just got to get the right cord to be able to get the audio back into the system.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon.
It's probably a very simple fix to get the right cord. It's just the three of us don't know what to do.
Edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Palmetto Propane, a family-owned company, has been delivering propane to homes and
We'll figure it
businesses
out.
for more than
We're gonna get with
60
the engineer after this program.
Professional installation, exceptional service, and premium gas log and outdoor fire features. We're proud to be South Carolina's leading.
I don't think Craig. Craig says Lloyd has been a disappointment. Craig, I just don't think that Lloyd has been healthy yet.
He had he broke through for one little run, but he dragged a couple guys with him.
Shepherd's Glass gets you to work and home safely every Monday through Friday with the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center. 107.5 The Game provides the sports talk. Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center provides the safe route you need. Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
Finding the right person for your job can become a full-time job. That's why Indeed is an all-in-one hiring platform where you can attract, screen, and hire quality candidates. When you need to hire right now, visit Indeed.com/
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, the true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com. Trenton Road at Beltline Boulevard, we have a report of an accident. Also, Highway 378 at Pineview Road. High up there. Looking for Highway 378, both east and westbound at Wise Ferry Road and Charleston Highway near Dixiana Road. And your forecast for today, sunny skies, 74 for the high. It's 45 right now.
All right, so we'll be quick here, probably.
And now,
What are you guys from?
7-5 Big Game.
Oh. There's a signal. Never mind.
7:42 on a Monday morning therapy. Got plenty of text messages coming in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. I'll get to those here in just a minute, but let's get back out to the Love Chevy phone lines. LJ is up next. Good morning, LJ. What's on your mind?
Good morning, folks. I thought Satterfield did okay with the play calling. I just think somebody needs to work with Doty to where he could see the field better, because there were times when he called a play, Doty was one-dimensional. He could have handed the ball off and busted some big ones up the middle, but it was more of a RPO. And if he would just went more to the tight end play, I think it could have opened the receivers up a little more. But yeah, I think Doty needs some work. I don't know who's over that department with him, but he is definitely looking the receivers down. So, other than the defensive line just playing all night, Carolina still held in there. So I was just worried that they should have went to Zev a little bit sooner. I thought that, because looking at the crowd in the third quarter, they were pretty dejected all around us. So, but I think they can get better. It's just Beamer's going to have to step up and become that head coach, and I don't know if he wants to do that, but that's what he's going to have to do, because it's his name out there. But other than that, I'm still a Gamecock.
Appreciate the phone call, LJ. Yeah, Luke Doty. Marcus Satterfield said it a couple weeks ago, and I'm with him. And Zeb Nolan, according to Shane Beamer last night on a Sunday night teleconference, has already been named the starter for Texas A&M. Patrick, I think it's a fine line right now. We're walking a fine line between saying, all right, Luke Doty is still early in his career as a quarterback at South Carolina, but also there does need to be progress. No question, whether it was the foot, whether it was confidence, whether it was him as a quarterback, Saturday was a step back after the first quarter in terms of Luke Doty developing as a quarterback. And again, Marcus Satterfield said a few weeks ago, at some point we can't keep saying, oh, start. It's his sixth start. At some point, he's got to grab it and run with it and make the necessary improvement to be an SEC level quarterback. Now, again, is it fair to say that he should have done it by now? I don't think so, but I also think, and we haven't. I don't know if we've seen him completely healthy. I feel like I will say this. I'm starting to not like the injury reports we get because I can't tell how healthy Luke Doty's been.
No, but to his point, it was basically the first two drives of both halves. South Carolina comes out, great drive, long drive, 75 yards, take 5 minutes off the clock. The next possession, you have a big play, and then for the rest of the half, you gain 23 yards for the rest of the half. Come out the second half, and I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily anything Luke did, but your first two drives are the only times that you move the ball. You go 5 plays, 64 yards, and you think Jaheim Bell's about to score, and he fumbles as he's going to the ground. It is what it is. That's not Luke Doty's fault. And then the next drive, you get 9 plays, 57 yards, kick a field goal. But that was also coincided with, out of nowhere, Zaquandre White's the best player on the field for about 10 minutes. Don't know what's happening there. But it's just something about you start off hot, you have something drawn up well. Maybe they had a good scripted first drive ready, and then they talk about things at halftime. Marcus Satterfield's in the locker room, tells them something.
Goal they could have tied the game for South Carolina. Now, the 4th and 4 call that we talked about, certainly that was not a very good call. A couple of you weighing in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line about that. Again, Marshall says agreed on the 4th and 4 call. You can't make that play call. Leggett had no blockers, and you throw it 3 yards short of the sticks, and there were 3 defenders left. That's some of it. I mean, it's blame to go around this morning. Now, South Carolina won the football game. There is still the opportunity to get bowl eligible, but things have to improve. And I think that's where most people are. They see a program right now who the door is open to speed up the rebuild. We'll continue talking about that. I see you on the Love Chevrolet phone lines. We'll certainly get to your phone calls. A lot of you weighing in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Bill Gunner, Patrick Brett, Jen Jensen, rolling you through here on a Monday morning. You're welcome to join us. We appreciate everybody who does. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
This is South Carolina head women's basketball coach Dawn Staley, and you're listening to the home of the Gamecocks, WNKT, Denver, Eastover, Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
And we'll have 2 breaks next hour.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality, shepherdsglass.com. Traffic continues to be snarled up in a few places. Charleston Highway near Dixiana Road. Also, Barrow Road at Pisgah Church Road should be about cleaned up from a car versus deer incident. An accident, Trim Road at Beltline Boulevard. Pineview Road at Halbrook Drive, an accident there, and getting things cleaned up and out of the way. Highway 378, both east and westbound at Wise Ferry Road in Lexington. Looking for a high today of 74, and they're mostly chilly though, as we get the days.
$56-1919 is the number to call for your roofing and waterproofing needs.
There's so many things. Like, was the previous coaching staff that good that it covered up just how bad the offensive line was? Is that what we're saying?
Previous. That's what they did well.
So the number to call for advice, service, results, and a commitment to customer satisfaction is 356-1919. See all the Midstate has to offer when you click on MidstateRoofing.com. Tell them Midstate friends.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing see.
356-1919, MidstateRoofing.com.
Life matters. Lamar Potts is the former sheriff of Cayuga County in Georgia. The closing paragraph in Margaret Barnes' book, Murder in Cayuga County, contains this brief tribute. Lamar Potts became a legend in his own time and strength to his people. He was sheriff of Cayuga County for 32 years. Barnes' book tells of the story of Potts' bravery and exceptional skill in bringing down county boss John Wallace for a brutal murder in 1948. Sheriff Potts was relentless.
Oh, the Marvin Leal is going to have 10 sacks.
Then burned it.
Who? The Marvin Leal. Texas A&M. That's what Craig just said in the live stream. That's the best defensive lineman Carolina will play this year.
You got the live stream. There you go. You just handle the comments on the live streams.
Oh, he's going to absolutely dominate. They're going to just line him up everywhere.
Lamar Potts is still one of my heroes. The memory of the righteous remains forever. That's the promise of God.
This is the kind of game though. Texas A&M, who did like South Carolina go out and be very competitive in, and then lose South Carolina either get like blown out or they're gonna like have a lead late in the fourth quarter and give up like 10 points in the final like 10 minutes and lose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be out in Vegas on like because it'll be. I'm so confused by like the Vegas timeline of like I've never been 3 hours behind to where college football will start at 9 a.m.
Yep.
Like this is gonna be so wild for me to have to experience. And then like if you look at the schedule, there's no like 10:30 games.
There's not, or just no good ones.
No, there's no 10:30 games.
Why?
I don't know. I looked at the schedule for the weekend. All the games again, like the latest game is like 8 o'clock. And
Tire guide to find the right tire for your driving habits and get the same expert advice that you get in the store. At Discount Tire, we take pride in making your experience with us as easy as possible.
Yeah, there's an 11:59, but according to this, the Utah at Oregon State at 7:30. There's not even an 8 o'clock game. I guess because of baseball, maybe.
New Mexico State and Hawaii kicking off at midnight.
Yeah.
What time? How far is Hawaii back?
I thought it was 6 hours.
6 hours. Sheesh.
Right now,
What time is it in Hawaii?
for $119. Plus, when you mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5,
Yes, it's-
you'll get a hallway clean.
So that's a
Schedule online at
that's a 6 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah. But like, so like my college football Saturday will be done at 7:30 on like 7:30, 8ish on Saturday night.
So a noon game kicks off at 6 a.m. in Hawaii. So if there's a big college football fan in Hawaii, he's waking up at the break of dawn. Just saying.
Yep. And I'm not sure how I feel about that because then your college football Saturday's over at like 3.
Well, the late games, 7 p.m. kicks will end at 11, so like 5 p.m. Yeah, eat an early dinner and then
I don't know.
Go to bed.
I mean, obviously not the way that we're accustomed to.
I mean, you're not going to wake up and like tailgate. There's no such thing as tailgate.
Right. A reminder, Christmas not far away. First, we got to get through Halloween and Thanksgiving, Veterans Day as well. But Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming to Columbia Wednesday, December 8th at the Colonial Life Arena. A portion of the proceeds for each and every ticket sold will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity that aims to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. Tickets are on sale now. Again, Trans-Siberian Orchestra in town Wednesday, December 8th at Colonial Life Arena. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity aiming to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. Go purchase tickets now. We got plenty of you weighing in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line here this morning. Larry weighs in. Any win is a good win. What I don't understand is E.J. Jenkins in 7 games has 5 balls thrown at him. He caught 4. Fourth and the 5th was an overthrow by Zeb, who's more inside the red zone on short 3rd and 4th downs. Patrick, a great question. We'll try and answer that. See you on the Love Chevrolet phone lines. We'll get out to your We'll get to more of your text messages. There's a lot to cover. Keep weighing in this morning. You're listening to the early game. Jen Jensen, Patrick Fred. I'm Bill Gunner. We got another hour. We'll hash it out. Thank you for listening. We'll be back. Quick break, 10 minutes. We'll see you at about 8:03.
The NFL with live.
I did listen to Trans-Siberian Orchestra this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, my girlfriend and I were leaving in the morning to take the dog to the dog park, and how cold it was. Walked back inside, put another layer on, started playing some TSO and then ride to Starbucks.
This is Former Science with the CBS Sports Minute.
Now we already planned out our Christmas trip.
Oh, have you?
Have you ever heard of Helen, Georgia?
Helen?
So it's like a Christmas village, like Bavarian style houses and stuff.
It's the highest ranking in Cincinnati history, and the Bearcats from the American Athletic Conference are the first team to reach number 2 from outside a power.
Yeah, the whole town looks like that.
Since TCU did back in 2010.
It's like Christmas is like their time of year. It's like German style, like all apparently really cool during Christmas. So we already booked our December 11th weekend in Helen, Georgia. I'm pumped.
Texas, San Antonio are making the top 25 for the first time in program history. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Oh.
Oh, Sally's going to be on Good Morning America at 8:15.
Help from Lowe's. Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just $199.
When did she get her extension? Is that Friday?
And Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at $249 per square foot. Both with limited lifetime warranties. Order now. Only at Lowe's. Home to any budget. Home to any possibility. It's available in store only. You can find the retail page for more.
I'm trying to reach out to somebody. Figure we'll get in. I need to text Samson's dad today. We'll talk to him and get him, and I wanted to do him live on Wednesday morning. We'll see him before he gets. We'll do a Texas A&M.
Indeed, you do.
Like a break.
Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit
Depends on
and
what
get
he wants to do. I'll either
$75
stay and
towards your
record.
first
If we'll
sponsored
stay,
job.
we'll stay and record
Terms
his
and
interview more,
conditions
do like a
apply.
really long one. Or and then flip up it, or we'll just do it live, depending on what's most convenient for him.
I would imagine that it's an hour behind.
Of your car's insured value.
Are they an hour behind us?
Total loss, or what
Yeah.
it costs to repair your vehicle properly in case of a claim. Don't short yourself with the improper coverage. Let Giles Brothers Insurance help you forward. Join Haggerty Drivers Club, the largest community of automotive enthusiasts in the world. Visit GilesBrothers.com. Yes, brothers.
Brad Crawford tomorrow at 6:40.
All right, we got Good Morning America on now.
But did you know that now there's a new kind of diamond that's sure to become a world music? And about loud those diamonds.
We have like a station in College Station.
If you're looking for something big, they eliminate the need to settle for a
You can
low
look it up,
grade
you can
stone because now you can get beautiful.
There's a guy. I can just go to
How about a gorgeous 2-carat diamond for just $5,000? Or if you want to go really big, how about a 3-carat for just
Go to,
$10,000? Yes, we still
go to one of the
diamonds on
websites,
Earth, and we always
find a guy on
there's
Twitter.
nothing more romantic than an Earthline diamond. But now modern technology gives you an amazing choice, and we're all about it. So come see us and start your journey toward getting the diamond of your dreams, Earthline or lab-grown. It's your call. And for the
Yeah, I think you're looking for Brian. But quite honestly, you can really go. I mean, Dallas, Fort Worth. I mean, what I always do is I'd go on Twitter. I'd go on Twitter and see if I can find,
Sandhills location now is
like someone. But if you want to and reach out to them via Twitter and just DM them.
Candy Foundation Specialist is your local trusted expert in crawl space sealing. Call us today for a free estimate.
moisture and high humidity in your crawl space create an environment for mold and mildew and affect the air you breathe inside your home. Call Canty for a free inspection today at 753-1495 or visit cantycanfixit.com.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is changing the way you buy home insurance. Now you can go online, get a custom quote, and save both time and money. Learn more at progressive.com.
Trip Island Golf and Beach Resort offers guests over 3 mile unspoiled, uncrowded beach, plus 2 championship golf courses, tennis and pickleball courts, a full-service
Pickleball.
and activity center with 5
Pickleball's huge now.
and outstanding island dining. Trip Island is paradise for the whole family. Check out our fantastic vacation rentals ranging from large oceanfront homes to intimate villas and golf cottages. Discover the simple seaside serenity of Trip Island Golf and Beach Resort when you book today at tripislandresort.com. What a better way to cheer on the Gamecocks than with your own Traeger grill. Grill out with the family and friends. Old Timey Meat has plenty of Traeger grills in stock. Plenty of pellets and accessories too. Come by Old Timey Meat Market in Lexington today to take a look at the many sizes of Traeger grills. Old Timey Meat, Traeger grills, and Gamecock football. A perfect combination.
Old Timey Meat Market, quality selection, cut above the rest.
It's time for a shot to win $100 and get the chance to win $25,000. Here's the 25K Workday Payday National Keyword. More. M-O.
You guys can't hear me when I talk on the live stream. You guys can't hear me.
No, just that's because we have to have these off because then it starts echoing.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So right now it's like, but that makes sense because of that one. You know, you're having to at least keep that one. Yeah.
See, this is what I'm thinking. See, I've got this little cord right here, and it goes into just like my headphones would go into.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking that if I just plug it in here, that then the audio would feed back into the computer, which I could then somehow.
Have you tried that?
I have, but it wasn't working. But now that also might be because I just need to put a setting in there.
Could be. Yeah,
because now that audio is feeding out of there.
Because your audio input may have changed.
Where how it's accepting it, because that is my headphones, so technically, but that's where I would have the question on how do I feed audio back into the computer?
Mm-hmm. And to go through that program too. That's...
Working on the live stream we are, because we're busy little bees around here on a Monday morning. Well, Patrick Perrett, Jen Jensen, yeah, we got the live stream up, So you can come back and join us. I'll move the computer now. I've got a very nice side view going on there, but we're working on that. You can that way the live stream certainly a fun place. RL, Hope, Chuck, Justin, all weighing in this morning to help us. We've had plenty of other ones. Craig weighing in. Lauren and Courtney have joined us this morning. Troy. So a whole bunch of people. Steve, good buddy Twig, who I was out tailgating with. Twig wouldn't come around this weekend for Twig and Kit both night. They would not come around for cornhole. Didn't want any this weekend.
Were you on fire?
You had to play with the wind this weekend in cornhole. You had to. I was throwing downwind and kind of. I got into it a little bit. I was feeling it.
So it was not a crosswind.
No.
Okay.
It was not. It was. Yeah. It was. I was downwind.
Awesome. Thanks. So.
His stepfather was my partner in cornhole this weekend. We dominated. We just dominated everybody. But yeah, Twig, didn't see him show up. He stayed away this weekend. So that was okay. We dominated, and that was my weekend of tailgating. Bill Gunner, Patrick Pred, Jen Jensen. It is the early game, 8:05 here on a Monday morning. We'll get out to the Love Chevy phone lines here in just a second. If you want to weigh in, you can do so on those phone lines, 803-404-6100. How you can join us. Plenty of you weighing in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line as well. I'll get to those. I've done a poor job of reading text messages this morning, and I sincerely apologize. One thing we've not discussed is certainly it is a Monday morning therapy and a college football Monday morning. South Carolina 21-20 victory over Vanderbilt. But the Braves last night, another walk-off victory. 2 games. They are now up 2-0 on the Dodgers heading back to LA. And look, again, my life is not defined by what the Braves do, but when they start winning during the playoffs, during a potential World Series run, don't get me wrong, man. I love it. I'm all for it. And right now, I'm all in on a Braves Red Sox World Series. I don't really care to see the Astros. The Red Sox and the Astros are tied 1-1. Game 3 in Boston tonight. So I know that Village Idiot will be hopping tonight. Brian Glenn will be wearing all his Red Sox paraphernalia and having a big time. Dodgers and Braves tomorrow afternoon, 5:08 on TBS will be first pitch. That's actually a good thing because the game's out in LA. That's stupid. We were talking in the break. I'm heading to Vegas this coming weekend. I'm off to Vegas. I got some buddies. They're old. They turned 40. I'm 39. I'll be that age next May. But we're heading to Vegas. If you're a Braves fan, this is perfect. Charlie Morton going against Walker Buehler tomorrow night. 5:08 is the start time. So roughly 2 o'clock Tuesday start time
in LA
in LA for a pivotal game 3 that the Dodgers can't. Like, you're a Braves fan, you can't draw it up any better. You don't get the Dodgers don't get the nighttime crowd. I know people will take the day off because people in LA probably don't work to begin with, but that's perfect, right?
I would think so. Would you like that 5:08? I mean, if you work a regular 9 to 5, do you maybe just cut out a little bit early, pick up a 6-pack on your way home, and hop right to the couch?
I mean, that's what I would be doing. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to get to Dodger Stadium, but it feels like that sets up. And again, seeing the Braves back in the World Series, especially after everything they went through this year, injuries, everything the first part of the season, man, it is really fun to follow right now as the Braves are always a lot of fun to follow. They've provided a lot of heartache though I know you're a Nationals fan, but really the Braves, this is now really a year run that the Braves are on, roughly a 30, right about a 29-year run, 30-year run that the Braves are on of success, and it would be fun to see them back in. I'd love to see them back in against the Red Sox. So kudos to them. 2-0 right now on the Dodgers. Again, Red Sox and Astros tonight. You can check that out. That series tied 1-1, and then the Braves back at it 5:08 tomorrow. Red Sox Dodgers game 4 following the Braves tomorrow night. So a lot going on. 803-404-6100. A lot of you weighing in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line and on the live stream as well. Chris weighing in on the live stream. He says, based on my observations on Saturday, we need to see more Zamir White. Now, that would be really cool if you could somehow just go to Georgia, kidnap Zamir White, and bring him back to South Carolina and make him play running back
White play this weekend.
Huh?
Did Zamir White play well? I saw him in the end zone on a highlight, but I didn't actually watch that game.
I don't.
No, but I mean, Zamir White, we would probably like to have him. I think he probably played a good game. I know he scored a touchdown. All right, 46 yards.
Yeah, it's Zaquandre White, Chris, is who you're going for. Zamir White, the running back. And to Chris's point, he says, the man runs angry and does not fumble the football. I think at this point, it says a lot for somebody to get a first down with the running back position. Stay with White. So Chris all in on Zaquandre White. But we appreciate you joining us. 803-404-6100. Jen, let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Jeff wants to weigh in on the offensive philosophies. Jeff, good morning. How you doing? And what's on your mind? Going on?
Saturday was not a good offense. We're going to get a lot of penalties and turnovers and whatnot. The one question I had, everybody, you made the comment earlier about the players. That's on the players. But what I'm concerned is the players might not be confident, especially the offensive line, are confident enough in what they're doing. That they're having to think too much, and it's causing them to maybe make penalties like false starts, get caught for holding stuff because they're not quite comfortable with running this offensive set, the schemes, the protections, and all that. And that could be causing them to make mistakes. And that falls on coaching, in my opinion. And that could be some of it because you can see after plays that they're arguing with each other. At the quarterback, they're talking to each other, yelling at each other like they don't understand, like they're having trouble communicating what needs to be done. And I think that the offense, if we do keep Marcus Satterfield, which, if he can get it situated, that's fine. But I think he's going to have to simplify things. I think it seems like, to me, just by stuff I've heard and read, that it might be a little bit too complex of a system. And as for Luke Doty, I think some of his mistakes is he doesn't really know what he's doing. I don't think he's comfortable in what he's doing. I don't think it's lack of ability. I think it's just and the injury is probably some of it. But I think some of it is that this is being comfortable in the system. And I think if they can get that under control, get the system where it's more simplified to some of these guys, I think the offense would be more effective. But it does bother me that you don't see Jenkins and Zaquandre White playing more because they obviously are guys that prove they can make plays. And they're not getting on the field. And Lloyd, apparently, you can tell, is not 100%. He's still not, whether it's mental or whatever, he's still not quite ready. And I think Zaquandre White and Bell and Jenkins and Van, those guys need to be touching the ball a lot more than they have. And I just would like to see more production. I think simplify things a little bit would help.
Appreciate the phone call, Jeff. Simplifying things. Patrick, how much do we put there's so many parts to them right now that we point at and that we question. Luke Doty is still a young quarterback. He's got to improve. We'll see Zeb Nolan this weekend. One guy that might really, really like the return of Zeb Nolan is Josh Van. It feels like Josh Van has disappeared since Zeb Nolan got injured against Georgia and came out of the game. But obviously Luke Doty, the offensive line, they're struggling. There's no doubt. They are not having a good year, and that's being more than nice to them. Play calling at times seems to be a little hit or miss. Now, one thing I'll bring up, we talk about the defense, and you look at the defense. Clayton White had coached at North Carolina State, at Stanford. He'd been a defensive coordinator at Western Kentucky, but he'd been around Power 5 football. Again, Stanford, NC State. Mike Peterson has coached in the SEC for now 5 years, I believe. I believe this is his 5th year. Jimmy Lindsey has coached at Illinois under Lovie Smith, an NFL guy, but had coached in the Big Ten as a defensive line coach. Torian Gray's reputation speaks for itself. Florida, Virginia Tech, in the NFL. That's an experienced defensive staff who they weren't good, by the way, on Saturday. They weren't good.
No, but the two touchdowns were one. They got the ball. I think the 23 was where South Carolina fumbled it, and then the second one was just a bad individual play. Like Darius Rush tried to tackle a wide receiver by his helmet.
Right.
Went right up the shoulder, and all the guy had to do was duck down and just waltz into the end zone. So I'm not going to blame them too much for that. But the two touchdowns, at least, you can explain away.
Yeah, and by and large, the defense has been good. But listen to the experience I just explained on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but outside of it, because Eric Kimry is our buddy, and I think Eric Kimry is a fantastic offensive mind. But this is his first college football. Yeah. Justin Stepp is the most experienced, and we can all look at the wide receivers and say, look at what he's done with Josh Vann. Look at how Justin Stepp is recruited. Landon Sampson was a kid who was on campus this weekend, and I think can come in and make an immediate impact. Justin Stepp, I think, is what he's done so far this year speaks volumes. And again, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but look at Marcus Satterfield's background. First time being an offensive coordinator at a Power 5 program. He was an offensive coordinator at Temple for about 2 years. He has coached at Baylor as well, so you got to throw that on the resume. Greg Atkins has been around. He has coached at Georgia. He's coached at Tennessee. Montario Hardesty, this is his first time. And at some point you start to look, running backs have got to make the offensive line look a little bit better. Just a little bit better.
Weirdly, Zaquandre came in and did that immediately.
So, yeah, and we'll see. And that's where I think the question becomes, is Montario Hardesty in charge of subbing in the running backs? Like, is he in charge of that? Because the way it's always worked under the impression I get is the offensive coordinator is in the booth trying to call the plays. Marcus Satterfield is not up there going, I need him to run this play right now, sub him in so we can run this play. It's his responsibility to call the play, and it's the responsibility of the running back, whoever's out there, to carry out the play. Now, certainly there are certain plays you do call for certain players, and you say, hey, I'm setting up, a screen pass or this play or that play. We need to get that guy in. But that's far more rare than it is for you to first tell somebody to go in, secondly, then call the play. So
that's actually something that I would like to hear asked tomorrow during the press conference. We haven't really heard that at all, but that's actually interesting. Who's making the decision when the running backs are going in? Do we say this is Kevin's drive, this is Marshawn's drive, this is Zaquandre's drive, or do we say, does Marcus Satterfield, are they on the headset saying, hey, we need to try and get the screen game going, or we need to do this or that, so we need so and so on the field? Because that is interesting. Like, we're going to run this package, so we need these guys in there, and I really do wonder how that's going on a down to down basis or drive to drive basis. Something going on behind the scenes, disciplinarily. Is that a word? Disciplinary.
I'm the person who gets to mess up the English language. Now, Jen, we go to the ruling.
Is discipline?
She's looking it up. Disciplinary.
Disciplinarily.
I don't think that one is a word. What do we got, Jen?
Disciplinary wise.
It's the early game. You're home for the English language. What do we got? Ruling. I think Patrick made up a word.
Some way or another. I think that should be a word. Yeah. So there's something going on behind the scenes disciplinarily with. So we haven't seen Zaquandre White since 3 games, and then all of a sudden he pops out in the third quarter and lights a fire into the entire offense. Juju McDowell is out for team policy thing, and just the variety of guys playing. Like, we don't know what's happening. So when people keep saying for the last couple of weeks the talk was, where's Zaquandre White? I assume there's more there than meets the eye. They need to figure something out. They need some sort of continuity there, and they need to figure it out. Like, if Zaquandre White's the best guy, which he looked like on Saturday, why are we only seeing short little spurts of him? It doesn't really make sense. I'm not loving the rotation on running back. It's not exactly playing out how we dreamed, with everybody being fresh and coming in. Kevin Harris being the battering ram, Marshawn Lloyd coming in being the lightning, and every once in a while you sprinkle a little Juju and Zaquandre. It's not going that way.
No, it hasn't, and it is a legitimate question, and I think it's part frustration that people have. CD weighs in on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, and I think this is where South Carolina fans are at. And I think this is I think this is a perfectly acceptable take. The offense is too complicated. Keep playmakers on the field in situations where they excel. Defense is good enough to win 6 games. Patrick, Jen, I think that's where the fan base is at. You've got one side who's saying it's a rebuild, but the defense is playing better than we expected. And maybe the bar was set so low because the defense hasn't been lights out. They haven't been world beaters. But as I look at this schedule now, because we all look at the schedule is not as difficult as we probably initially thought. Now, Texas A&M appears to be playing a lot better. The Texas A&M South Carolina's about to play is not the Texas A&M that we saw 4 weeks ago. We went, oh, that looks
But you know what? That's what Texas A&M always is. You don't know what Texas A&M team's going to show up on any given day. That's been like the calling card of Texas A&M. I feel like since Kevin Sumlin will look red hot and then just drop duds every once in a while, and Jimbo Fisher doesn't get them to show up every Saturday. Yeah, maybe the team that beat Alabama shows up, or maybe South Carolina has a very reasonable chance of winning that game.
You know, I mentioned it's kind of funny. I forgot to go to it when we were talking about Florida, but Florida over the weekend, obviously with the loss, Anthony Richardson, the backup quarterback, he's wearing Tim Tebow. Everybody is kind of weighing in on that, and Anthony
From
Richardson
Gainesville
has been really good. Anthony Richardson, after the game, was asked about basically his role on the team and transferring, and basically his response was, I can't really speak on that right now. Time is the only thing that tells. Right now, I'm a Gator.
Yeah, love that.
Like,
I always love the right now. Right now.
Couldn't write off. You got a quarterback, and this is part of it. Like, all right, Texas A&M's playing better. They look a lot better. A few weeks ago, when Florida lost to Alabama by 2, we looked at Florida, we're like, man, they look like a juggernaut. Right, put that one definitely in the L category. Texas A&M looks like an entirely different team. So there's a lot there to go through as these two teams, as everybody's adjusted now. But Florida in a little bit of disarray, and they'll be coming off the Georgia. Florida's still better at South Carolina. Let's be perfectly clear about that. But still, you got Anthony Richardson, the backup quarterback. Those Emory Jones top 15 draft projections,
yeah,
tad off on those as well.
Well, which one was more off? Spencer Rattler, number 1, or Emory Jones?
It's been a bad year overall.
Yeah.
Sam Howell's not been.
This quarterback class stinks.
Yeah.
Malik Willis is the best, and he's playing at Liberty, and no one's watching him play at all.
803-404-6100. How you can join us. Let's listen to a little bit of Shane Beamer here as we head to a break, talking about Zaquandre. I about said Zamir White. Zaquandre White and his role with South Carolina. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
You know, with him, it's just we got to go with Kevin and Marshawn. The way Juju's been running the ball, and those guys are doing better in practice. All the details of runs and things like that, accountability stuff. He hadn't been as good, but he's been doing a good job on special teams. And, you know, we talked about it this week as a staff, as an offensive staff, that who are the playmakers on our offense? And when I think about playmakers and the guys that bring energy to our offense,
Zaquandre White is one of them. So, you know, we're fortunate to have a great group of running backs. We've got to continue to find ways to get Z White involved, and he brings energy to our team. The players on our team, offense, defense, special teams, they love the kid, and they love the kid because of the way that he practices and the energy that he brings. So when he is touching the ball, good things happen.
107.5 The Game is omnipresent and free of charge. In your car, in the car, online, on the app, and streaming on your smart speaker. 107.5 The Game.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. Shepherd'sGlass.com. Highway 378 at Halbert Drive. There's still an accident going on. Looking to clear. Also, Universal Drive at Garner's Ferry Road. An accident there. Nice forecast on tap for the next few days.
All right.
For a high today of 74, 77 for tomorrow. But still a cool start. It's 45 at 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program.
Brian, you're not listening to the pro. This drives me insane when people. No, we said several weeks ago it was a winnable game because they were how they were playing. We said now Texas A&M is playing a lot better. We were comparing how people change. That drives me insane when people do that. Texas A&M is winnable today. We said a couple weeks ago Texas A&M stunk when they were barely beating teams, and Zach Calzada's his name. I got to make sure I practice that today. So no, we didn't say that it's a winnable game. We said it was a few weeks ago, and look, now Texas A&M looks a lot better. Don't change around what we say. Nobody picked Troy. Nobody took Kyle Larson. I can't believe I ended up with Truex Jr. Should have gone back with Larson.
You ever heard of the Eagle?
Huh?
The Eagle? Yeah.
Tax returns, it's an IRS wage levy bank.
I guess it's a website. Okay. I'll DM this guy from the Eagle.
No one picked Larson. I should have.
How many followers you got?
6,000.
Yeah, that's right. Look at his tweets. Just make sure he's not like putting wild stuff
He
out.
tweets a lot, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening to them too. Sorry. Too
Oh,
much
yeah.
chatter.
Yeah. Tell him we're the morning show. And, just give him a breakdown. Yeah, that's a good one. He sounds like a new name. I like that.
I would have to say just everything being under one roof.
Always just make sure they're.
But I'm going to ask for car picks. Bill came in third.
They're not gonna know who I am. This guy's got 8. Can you guys give me to 1,000 followers on Twitter so I have a little more clout, by the way?
Yeah. Sorry, please help. Hope, we need you to.
Yeah.
Hope, we need you to help Patrick with Twitter followers.
I need to get my DM people asking them to come on the show. They'll respect me.
To be able to get in, have a button when you walk in the door to turn the lights on, turn the TVs on, anything you can think of when it comes to a smart home integrated unit.
Address and ask our picks on the live stream.
Yeah, thank you.
If you're building a remodel or anything, 948-8327, integratedmediainc.com. Call Integrated Media today. You're welcome.
Football season is here. Visit Discount.
Oh, Hope's on it for you.
Take care of you.
Thank you, Hope. Can always count on you.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online. Use Trail Tire Guide to find the right tire for your driving habits and get the same expert advice that you get in the store. At Discount Tire, we take pride in making your experience with us as easy as possible. Let's get you taken care of.
You shopping for your first home, or fourth, or fifth? At Cap Center, there's an easier way and a less expensive way. Half your stress by using both our mortgage and realty teams. Specialists who work together under one roof for a seamless experience. And half your costs with a zero closing cost mortgage, saving you thousands of dollars compared to other lenders.
This was my first home purchase. I thought it was going to be an ordeal, but a friend recommended
All right,
Cap Center.
let's see if we can
I can't believe how
actually.
easy it was.
My third time using Cap Center. It's a great experience every time. Completely painless. Staff is always on top of what's going on. I can't understand why anyone would use another company and pay closing costs.
Half your home buying costs. Visit capcenter.com. Equal housing lender. Visit capcenter.com for rates, savings, and offer limitations. This ad contains real client feedback voiced by actors. NMLS ID 67717. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
If you've got a hole in your roof or you need a whole new roof, you need to call Midstate Roofing, 356-1919.
What time is it in College Station right now? 7:30?
Midstate Roofing
Yeah.
has established its reputation as the leader in the roofing industry. Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation.
Well, Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday. Yeah, whenever we're wide open, so whenever he's available.
I assume it would have to be the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I mean, he might be up early.
What do we have for the rest of the week? We got Carrie Thursday.
Gary Thursday, Brad, Brian Edwards Thursday. I got Tuesday and Thursday right now. Good. Wednesday we're wide open, so just tell him
Friday.
Whenever he can make it work, we will accommodate him.
356-1919. See all the Midstate has to offer when you click on midstateroofing.com. Tell them Midstate friends.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
356-1919, midstateroofing.com.
Please features in your home with zero risk air dust. Right now, when you mention Bill Gunner with 1075 the game, you can get $30 off your next air dust roof plus 18% off filters and online. ZeroRestColumbia.com.
Hi, this is Adam Vance with Sound and Images. For almost 40 years, Sound and Images has been your corporate multimedia resource for installations and live events. Sound and Images' friendly and experienced audiovisual teams can facilitate anything from a simple home office monitor upgrade to a video conferencing system, digital signage, retail, large-scale commercial, and more. Sound and Images is dedicated to adding and supporting technology into your space. At Sound and Images add a whole new level to your AV capabilities. Visit soundandimages.net. That's soundandimages.net.
Whether at the dining room table or cheering on the Gamecocks, you'll find the best meat buying experience out there at your old-timey meat market. Their shelves are stocked with various cuts and grades of beef, pork, poultry, seafood, and exotic meats. The selections are always fresh, never frozen, priced and of the highest quality. Get all you need at Old Timey Meat Market, St. Andrews, South Congaree, and Lexington.
Old Timey Meat Market, quality selection.
Cut above the rest. Who love cars like me. Hey, I'm Brad Giles from Giles Brothers Insurance. With guaranteed value coverage through Haggerty, we'll be paid every cent of your car's insured value in the event of a covered total loss, or what it costs to repair your vehicle properly in case of a claim. Don't short yourself with the improper coverage. Let Giles Brothers Insurance help you protect your classic car. Join Haggerty Drivers Club, the largest community of automotive enthusiasts in the world. Visit gilesbrothers.com. That's GILES brothers.com.
Broadcasting live from the Hurricane Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by, shop online. See why Heritage Chevrolet makes you smile. And now, back to the early game on 1075 The Game.
And how they had to tear all the stories up and write a new one because of the way the Patriots came back. So no disrespect, but I hope everyone had to tear up your story that you've been working on for the last 2 hours and start a new. Seem pleased with me right now as I say that, but it's true. But the whole point of the video was we don't let anyone write the story for us, and that there was an outside narrative this week. Maybe, I don't know, I'm insulated in the building, but no matter what people say on Twitter, no matter what people write on the message boards, no matter what people say on the people on this program write the story.
Shane Beamer on Saturday night, that was after the game, and Papa Joe hits us up on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, Patrick, and he says, does Shane Beamer ever say anything negative? And the answer to that's going to be no.
No.
And that's fine. Probably the way it should be. There's a coach in the upstate who South for a long time because he was never negative. And he built there that is sunshine and rainbows. And I watched Dabo on Friday night. Not good at football right now. Defensively, they're still pretty good. It helps that Syracuse is very smelly on offense. But Dabo's ultra positive. And quite frankly, South Carolina needs a coach. I'm not saying I quite frankly don't think that Shane Beamer will ever have the success that Dabo Swinney has had. All right. I'm not trying to sell anybody on being the next Dabo Swinney. But what I do think is South Carolina needs a positive coach. Steve Spurrier was a blunt coach. Lou Holtz was kind of a funny coach, I guess.
South Carolina, but
it's okay. People might not like this.
The Steve Spurrier attitude would not have worked right now, though.
But it worked fine early on because he was honest. He was blunt. Steve Spurrier was blunt. We're not good. We're trying to. But South Carolina at that point in time, Patrick Lou Holtz, South Carolina off the Lou Holtz era was not awful football. Like South Carolina had won back-to-back Outback Bowls. They had 2 5-7 seasons in which they were actually 5-2 and a win away from bowl eligibility, and then would lose 5 straight. It wasn't like South Carolina was 2-8 or 4-8 and was getting their brains beaten in by everybody. And then Lou Holtz last year, we all forget it because Steve Spurrier came in, but Lou Holtz the year after, or his final year, did get South Carolina bowl eligible. They were 6-5, and so there was some small level of success that you were kind of dealing with. That hasn't happened, and Will Muschamp was just I don't know, his demeanor. His demeanor to the media and to the fans was not what people liked. And so you don't have to like it. But no, Shane Beamer is going to be ultra positive. And he's not going to come out. He's And it's not pretty. Nobody's looking back on, man, that East Carolina game was a thing of beauty, but you won it. Nobody's going to look back at the Vanderbilt game and say that was a thing of beauty. If South Carolina somehow 2 more wins, somehow, nobody, and they go to a bowl, they go to Birmingham, which we've all had a blast in Birmingham. Every one of you who went to that Papa John's Bowl, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if South Carolina somewhere finds a way to go to a bowl, somehow, some way, nobody's going to look back and go, oh, only beat Vanderbilt by 1. You're going to be like, wow, what a first year from Shane Beamer. Like, don't know how they accomplished that. Good job. Hey, positivity's going to be part of it.
I just think they need a coach that wins. Like, at the end of the day,
yeah.
No, but that's all that matters. Like, I don't think South Carolina fans will care. Like, nobody was unhappy with Will Muschamp after year 2. That attitude was fine. People were okay with it.
Winning those
And people would have been fine if the press conference came out and he was unhappy after that game and said, you know what, give credit to Vanderbilt, but that we played awful. Yeah, we did not play a good game. We stunk. We couldn't muster any offense outside of the first and last drives of the game, and we were terrible, and we need to clean it up, or we're going to get boat race next weekend, and it's going to be ugly. People would have said, okay, that's an honest take. We're okay with honesty, and if you feel like that's the honest take, then okay. But we're not celebrating a 1-point win over Vanderbilt, and I understand the positivity of we're always going to celebrate wins here. That is a fine mindset to have.
But you've got 6 wins in 2 years. You celebrate. Look, it doesn't have to be pretty. You go back and you celebrate a little bit. 803-404-100 anonymous texter.
Well, Keith just said, to this point, Keith just said Beamer's being his authentic self. Is he authentically that happy?
Yes, I actually
do. You really think so? He was actually really happy after that game, or he's just projecting that so that his players don't get down on themselves, and you want to have the mindset of, guys, you won the football game. Let's not sulk the game.
I think the fact that we actually came out, because I think last year's team wouldn't have won that game.
It's possible.
So
yeah.
I think right now it's.
But is he genuinely that excited about it, or is he like, man, so ugly? My best friend called a terrible game.
Yeah,
is he pumped?
I think you're having to. I just the public. Whether people like it or not, the public narrative can't be negative. Not right now. This program could still come completely unglued over the next 5 weeks and finish 4 losses. You can't. You as you can for this program. Now, again, positivity, positive attitude, positive reinforcement doesn't mean that they're down there right now handing out Swiss cake rolls and everybody got a milkshake, and that this morning there's trophies going around in the football facility and that they're happy. I don't know if people realize that. I feel he's just out here being positive, and that when they return and they report back to the football operations building today, that they're high-fiving and slapping. Now, if that's happening, if it's happening behind the scenes, then it's all right. Then you got a problem. I don't think that that's what's happening. I highly doubt that they're going in this morning and everybody feels great about themselves and they're slapping hands and they're patting each other on the back and going, oh, yeah, we're in good. There's got to be improvement there. What happens privately and what happens publicly, 2 entirely different things. 803-404-6100. A couple other text messages to get to here. Anonymous texter team, great show as always. What is the deal with Kevin Harris? Is it the injury? Harris did not get a ton of snaps. Shane Beamer has said that he was a little banged up. He had an ankle injury previous week there in the Tennessee game, and that he was a little sore. He did not get a lot of carries. We'll get more on his condition tomorrow afternoon when Shane Beamer meets with the media, but I have to believe that was part of it. Harris was having a good game, by the way. 6 carries, 35 yards. So you have to think that it was an injury. I highly doubt it was anything else that kept him out, but you've got to kind of assume that. So we'll see. We'll learn more tomorrow. Tyler weighs in. He says the bottom line is our offensive line is not good at all. We cannot win matchups up front, and we blow blitz pickups often. That's the root of our. It's hard to get any plays to work if the O-line struggles. And he says the same thing. Also, Kevin Harris had 6 carries on Saturday. Look, again, I think Kevin Harris was injured. I think he touched on that after the game. I know he mentioned Marshawn Lloyd had an ankle injury. I think he mentioned Kevin injury as well. that held him out. Look, South Carolina's played 7 straight games. South Carolina lacks depth to begin with. I know that the running back position is one of those things, but there is a lack of depth at certain positions. This team is starting to become banged up. They got to go to Texas A&M. They need a bye week. 803-404-6100. One more text off of the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Will weighs in. Is something and looks like he's slower or something, or am I wrong? No, he's also dealing with I believe a growing growing. Yeah. So they've mentioned that for a few weeks. He needs a bye week as well. The team as a whole, health wise, probably needs a bye week. That doesn't excuse them from the game this past weekend, but certainly at this point in the season, you need a little bit of a rest. 803-404-6100. Back out to the Love Chevrolet phone lines. Chuck is up next. Chuck, how you doing this morning? What's on your mind?
I really like the spin that you had going there a few minutes ago about being positive. Now, you coached Bill, I coached 11 years out in Lexington, up to the high school level. Kids respond, young men, anybody in the workplace or on the field, on the practice field, respond better to positive motivation than negative, and that's the bottom line. And now there's a time to coach and teach, and that has to be forceful at times. However, you open with a positive, then you get your message across, then you close with another positive. It's that simple. But yeah, they're banged up, but they're still playing hard, and they're still trying to win, and that's all that matters.
Appreciate the phone call, Jake. Yeah, I mean, Patrick, I don't think they're playing smart, but I don't think you can question. Of course, I don't think you can question the effort the majority of the time under the previous staff either.
No,
I don't think. Look, I think they're playing hard. They've got to clean up some areas, and that's where coaching does have to come into play, as Chuck said. What they say publicly, what Shane Beamer says in a press conference, what he says, post game to the media, it doesn't. Some effect there. Players probably appreciate not being thrown under the bus. I'm sure that certain players, you don't need to go in there and say, yeah, the offensive line stinks. They couldn't block me and my daughter out there. What they say again in practice, probably you hope it is. That's where you got to hope it's entirely different.
And you hope they don't need to hear it either.
Yeah, too.
I mean, the players watched the film. They watched Georgia beating Vandy 62-0. All at the same time, the coach was just throwing at that.
42 on your Monday morning. Hope you're up. And Adam, again, Bill Gunner, Patrick Pratt, Jen Jensen coming to you live from the studios. We are here. The live stream is up and running. You can jump on. We're also trying to encourage now people to make sure you follow Patrick Pratt on Twitter. That way, if you have any questions, you can ask him right there at _Patrick Pratt.
We're trying to book guests, and I need clout.
He's booking. Yeah, he's going to do some booking of guests for us. Tomorrow, Brad Crawford will join us at 6:40 in the morning to talk a little National College football. And, of course, our favorite dual threat quarterback Perry Orth tomorrow morning, 7:30. So there's your lineup for tomorrow. Brad Crawford, 6:40 tomorrow morning to talk college SEC, obviously the Ed Orgeron situation, and Perry Orth at 7:30 tomorrow morning. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Woke up this morning, it was a little chilly now, wasn't it? It was about low 40s. Guess what? That weather is coming quickly. And if you do not have your heating and air unit inspected yet, what are you waiting on? You're waiting for that morning you wake up and the heat doesn't come on and it's 35 degrees and you're wrapped up in blankets and 2 of your kids are staring at you like you're not the smartest person in the world. Don't let that situation tell you from experience. It's embarrassing. Donuts don't fix that situation, buddy. Nope. Call AAA today. Get them out to your house. Inspect your heating unit so that when we get into the colder months and it's chilly on a Saturday or Sunday morning and your kids want to watch it in the heat, not with a broken heating unit. 803-677-1500. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Get them out to your house. $59 is how much they'll charge you to do just a simple inspection. And if there is a problem, don't worry. AAA is taking care of. First thing they'll do is offer you $1,500 to buy back your old unit. Then, for those who qualify, 0% financing, no money down on a brand new unit. And on top of all that, a 15-year parts and labor warranty just for you and comfort, knowing that AAA Heating and Air is there to take care of you. 803-677-1500. That's how you can get in touch with Roy and Dana Finley today. Get them out. Get AAA Heating and Air to your house ASAP. Have that heating unit inspected. It's one Saturday morning to a heating unit that's not working in a very cold household. 803-675-00. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner told you to call.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, so true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com. We do still have one accident remaining out there, Universal Drive at Garner's Ferry Road. Other than that, traffic moving along pretty well, the rest of the highways. And
how's the noon slate this week?
Pretty good for today, 74.
It's all right.
Tomorrow, 77.
Good weekend.
It's
good. I have to go to the movies.
Sponsored by
It's not a particularly. I was looking ahead. Next weekend's pretty solid. The 30th is pretty solid. We got Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Florida.
We came into a hostile environment, played a really good team, ended up with a win, and that's our goal each and every week. There's still a whole lot of football left in this season, and we got to continue to stack.
In zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim?
The week after that,
now's a great time to change.
I'm going to be in
Upgrading your
Nashville.
headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh,
I told Tammy I'd do it remote. I don't know if that'll be allowed or
you
not.
won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast. Next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done? Just
Well, I already told her.
It will for sure be fun when we get everything settled here as far as all the technical stuff. It's funny. Everything worked great when we weren't in the studio. But we're working on it, so we appreciate everybody's patience.
Next Outback.
We're back.
712229.
There they are.
Get stylish, durable flooring for your home that will last a lifetime. And get it installed with help from Lowe's. Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just $199 per square foot. And Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at $249 per square foot. Both with limited lifetime warranties. Order now, only at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and independent contractors. See Lowe's.com.
Yeah.
Lowe's.com product detail page for more warranty information.
But Ethan leaving with a big order on Tuesday. Tia's store manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on assignment retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
Always in production.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Silverados are back in stock at Hergen Chevrolet. We're ready to kick the inventory shortage to the curb with new trucks available now. Trade in and trade up to a new.
Kardashian and Joe Clark are engaged.
Do what?
Kourtney Kardashian are
Visit
engaged.
Hergen Chevrolet online
That
at
is something.
HergenChevy.com.
Cumulus also needs to buy us a different heating and air system. If Bill needs the heat on, I've got a little room I need air conditioning. Guess who wins?
And we're proud to
Then
be the
me.
lawyers our clients depend on during their toughest moments. I'm Jason Reynolds. Call me when your family is faced with any serious injury or death.
And I'm Steven Sanders. When you're hurt at work, I go to work, giving you the medical treatment and workers' compensation you depend on. We have the experience and passion you need when you need
Yeah,
it most.
true lie there, RL.
True injuries, true lawyers. 779-4000.
Teleworking works pretty
The
well.
powerful new iPhone 13 Pro is here with the most advanced camera in an iPhone. And T-Mobile is the place to get it.
This new cinematic mode turns my travel videos into a filmmaking masterpiece.
Get the most out of your new iPhone on America's largest, fastest 5G network.
And posting. Whoa, that was fast.
And now, you can get iPhone 13.
I did a good job of getting out relatively early, man.
I'm training you well.
I've done better with the times today.
No, you really have.
Step in the right direction.
Hey, it's all an adjustment.
Of course, I'll go to Vegas and next Wednesday we'll have to start the process all over again.
Yeah, I'll have to retrain you like a dog. Put a leash on you.
I was gonna say you have to break back out the newspaper and roll up the magazine again.
Continue credits on current device or credit stuff.
Swing on the nose.
And it's the fastest based on average overall 5G speeds according to Open Signal Awards and USA 5G user experience report July 2021. T-Mobile.com.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. 1075 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. And now, back to the early game on 1075 The Game.
Thanks, Chris.
Big thank you to everybody weighing in, offering input. Again, tomorrow morning, 6:40, Brad Cross will talk SEC, certainly what's going on down in Baton Rouge. We'll talk college football at large. 7:30, we'll catch up with Harry Orth as well to get his take Wednesday. We'll have a few guests on Thursday. It'll be Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider. I think he might have been perfect this week.
No, he gave you the Navy pick. He was wrong before the week even started.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Well, after that, I think he was perfect.
I think, let's see, just going back and looking, he hit on Syracuse, he hit on California, he won.
If you had asked me what happened in the California game, I would not have been able to say before right now.
He both of those, Syracuse plus 14, California plus 14. He hit Minnesota plus 4 over Nebraska, and Texas A&M, Missouri over 59.5. I don't think it got over 59.5. I think it was 35-14 was the final that we looked at. Anyway, but yeah, Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider will once again on Thursday to give his picks. Somewhere along the line, we'll have someone from Texas A&M. Patrick is efforting us. He is taking over the booking role here on the program, and he is efforting. We'll get someone from a Texas A&M website to give us a little Texas A&M breakdown as well. We'd like to bring in some other voices. Speaking of other voices, if you want to weigh in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can call the Twin Peaks Hot Take Hotline, 803-978-6654, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, sponsored by Twin Peaks, who never settle. Go see them down in the Business 600 Gervais Street. Yeah, that's cool.
35-14 was correct.
That was correct. Yeah, did go over. So he went 3-1 on his key picks this weekend. So Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider will join us on Thursday at it's 8:05.
And the two that we both agreed on in the SEC, Georgia and South Carolina, he said 2 points. He was right.
That's what
He was in fact right.
That's what he did. Eric in Blythewood gets the final take today. He said, I would offer all of us Gamecock fans are not necessarily celebrating a 1-point win over Vanderbilt. It's more that we're happy with not losing to Vandy and all that would have entailed. Imagine your show today if that would have happened. Also, the way we won has something to do with it. Eric, with a minute 37, I was strangely getting very sick and was not going to be able to make it today. It's amazing how much my attitude changed in the final minute and 37 seconds. I was horrified of coming in today with a minute 37 seconds. And on top of that, my uncle, Tommy O'Keefe, was in from New York. Have you ever dealt with a New Yorker who doesn't understand college football?
15.
Yes.
It's difficult. Yes, it's difficult. We sent him home. He's on his way home. I get a good week. Jim, thank you so much for training me how to do this. Patrick, thank you for being here today. We will return tomorrow morning. I appreciate all the input. You've been listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The home of the Gamecock.
All right, sign us off.
All right, everybody. Excellent
Get things
work. Very
working.
proud of all y'all. Follow Patrick on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube page if you're not. See y'all later.
Thanks, guys.